Welcome race fans to Peterborough Speedway. It's round 3 of the 2022 APC Racing Series, the AP Technologies 100. And Jamie Maudsley, this brings us to one of the toughest racetracks we're going to visit this season, the Third Mile, Peterborough Speedway.
Well, they don't call it Canada's toughest third mile for nothing. Again, there's going to be some bent fenders here tonight for sure, and probably some hurt feelings by the time we're done.
We decided to do the introduction to tonight's race from the flag stand, and for a good reason. For 2 seconds of every lap, the drivers get to hold the steering wheel straight. Otherwise, you're entering turn number 1, you get to turn 2, and that's just a big sweeping corner, takes you all the way basically to turn 4. So once you exit turn 4, you've got that 2 seconds where you sweep under the flag stand to hold the wheel straight. Otherwise, the driver is hard at work the whole way around.
Well, I was talking to the couple guys who've never raced here before, and the big comment that they said was they couldn't get over the fact that they never go straight. They're always got some wheel into the car. That's just Peterborough.
It's part of the fun of this place. It's one of the things that'll frustrate drivers all night long. Let's send it down to Clinton Jeffrey. He's pit side. He's going to be chasing the action all night long.
Well, guys, the pits here at Peterborough, we're seeing a lot of happy faces. A lot of these drivers are excited to be here after not being here with the APC series for a little bit of time. One of the drivers we're going to watch tonight is Ryan Kimball. Ryan, you've got a lot of experience here. You're one of those names that's at the top of the charts as everybody talks about who's going to be a contender here tonight. Can you shake off the bad luck and put one together?
Yeah, I hope so. These guys gave me a real good car. We unloaded. We were like 12th fastest. I just wasn't really happy with driver comfort and whatnot, but crew chief Graham Tias really gave me a good car in that second practice. So hopefully we'll have something qualify in the top 10, get that invert, and see if we can lead some laps and go out there.
Well, guys, Ryan Kimball's one of the drivers who knows the fast way around here. We'll be keeping our eye on him and all the other contenders live here on G-Force TV. Let's go APC Quick Wick racing tonight.
Thanks, Clinton Jeffrey. He'll be chasing things all night long, Jamie, but I should mention, I'm Adam Ross. Joining me tonight is Jamie Maudsley. APC Racing is on the card, but also the Quick Wick Superstock Series, and that should be a great race as well.
Series made its debut back in 2021, and they did have a race here at Peterborough Speedway. It was Carson Nagy bringing home that checkered flag.
Should be great tonight. Watch all the action right here on G-Force TV. We'll be right back.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rear-view mirror, every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
Welcome back to Peterborough Speedway. I'm Adam Ross, sitting right beside Jamie Maudsley, our second group of cars onto the racetrack. The number 4 SSG Gloves, Airedale Carriers Toyota from Aurelia's Connor James. From Dorchester, the APC Auto Parts Center, Canusa Automotive Warehousing Ford. Number 3, it's Shay Gemmel. In the 10S, out of Oro, the Paragon Auto Trim of Barrie 10S is Gord Shepard. The 48 from Stainer, the B&B Towing Nisco National Leasing 48 is Dwayne Baker. And the 21 is out of London, the Global Warranty, ToyotaTown.com Toyota, it's Matt Britico.
Early times in Blair Wickett was in our first group. He's at the top of the board. Tom Gibbons second, Eric Delariva's third, Jay Frank is fourth, and James Horner fifth as a second group of cars just starting to put laps up on the board.
I was a little surprised to see Wickett in that first group, but the times were super close in practice this afternoon. This whole field is basically separated by less than a quarter second.
Quick Wick qualifying a little earlier on tonight, we saw 8 drivers beat the previous track record, so we're expecting that mark could fall here in APC qualifying. The conditions seem to be just right. Mark, they're looking at to knock off tonight. It's a Brandon Watson held record, Trayton Lapsevich held record all the way back in 2018 at 13.274. So guys, we're close in practice.
We're close right now. Shea Gemmel is the quickest car so far with a 13.4, but Connor James knocks him off. 13.394 for Connor James in the number 4.
About a 10th off the record. And again, we still got the fastest groups of cars to come here, so we will see those speeds pick up as we move through qualifying.
Connor James at the top of the heap, Shea Gemmel second, Matt Pritico third in the 21, and then it's Blair Wickett in the 97, and the 10 of Tom Gibbons. Let's meet Group C, coming onto the racetrack first from Orono, Ontario. The Mobile 1 B&W Enterprises Chevrolet number 54 is Danny Benedict. The 52, Pride Seeds, Vibrant Farms, Cameron Crane Ford. From Mount Bridges, it's Jake Sheridan. Driving the number 8, BW Towing, McMaster GMC Orangeville, BBTS Markdale Chevrolet. From Hillsburg, it's Jordan House. Our track record holder from Grimsby, the Tricor Transportation Ace Services Academy Construction number 32 is Trayton Lapsevich. And last but not least, he runs well here at Peterborough from Orobidanti, the Caldecott Millwright Services Chevrolet number 31W, Rick Spencer Walt.
Spencer Walt, winner first night out at Sunset Speedway, our season opener.
It's been taking about 3 laps for these drivers to really get up to speed, get the American Racer tires up to temperature, get the air pressures where they want them.
And we've seen Danny Benedict qualify outside the top 10 first 2 races. Now he does have a couple good finishes in the deal, with a 3rd place at Sunset and 8th last time out at Flamborough. So we'll see if Benedict can put that thing in the top 10, make his task a little easier this evening.
What a relief it would be. New fast time, Jake Sheridan with a 13.310. Trayton Lapsevich to P2. Rick Spencer Walt to P3. Danny Benedict to P4. They are laying down some lap times right now. Jake Sheridan with a 13.301, just a few hundredths of a second off that track record.
Track record in a 13.274 set by Trayton Lapsevich back in June of 2018.
We have tied.
We have a tie for the track record. Sheridan just turned the exact same time.
What a terrible feeling that is.
I don't see why you just wouldn't go a little faster, Adam.
A thousandth of a second. Just push the gas a little harder. Jake Sheridan at the top of the heap, 13.274. Trayton Lapsevich second in the 32. Rick Spencer Walt third. Jordan House fourth. Danny Benedict fifth. Then it's Connor James in 6th, Shea Gemmel 7th, Matt Pritico 8th, Blair Wickett 9th, and Tom Gibbons 10th. Always important to time into that top 10. Get yourself into the APC invert.
And again, first time we've seen that 32 of Trayton Lapsevich this year.
First time that car's been seen. They worked on it all week long. I understand it's a new piece just out of the box.
See how he does here tonight. Obviously pretty quick as he sits P2 right now. Kyle Steckley in the Quick Wick machine out there. You see him working off turn 4. There's the Spire Fire Protection high-grade roofing entry of Billy Schwarzenberg. And, of course, the Ridgeline entry of Josh Stoddy. Him and his ambitious Pro Late Model Tour this year. 22, 23 events for the Stoddy crew. And I believe he's got some of the Ridgeline folks here this evening with him, Adam.
And, of course, Andrew Grezel at Sauble Beach, Ontario. That Sauble Falls Tent and Trailer Park. CUSW, Canadian Union of Skilled Workers, sponsored. Number 81 Ford. I look for big things. Andrew Grezel has been here for all the APC races, and except for one, he's finished in the top 3 every time.
So we've had 4 races in history, APC history, here at Peterborough Speedway. 2 wins by Brandon Watson, who is not in attendance tonight, and the other former winner is on property, and he was quick. He'll be coming up next, Group 89C of Sean Chenoweth, a couple wins here at Peterborough.
Whoever's able to knock Jake Sheridan off the top of the pylon here is going to be a new track record holder, because Sheridan tied that record. To beat him, you beat the track record. Nobody has done it just yet. Kyle Steckley with his hands full of steering wheel. Good enough for third quick, a 13.350 for the young man out of Milverton, Ontario.
Stoddy just went to P7. Checkered flag out. Haven't seen the 86 show up in the top 10. Steckley times in third. Stoddy will wind up 8th of this group. Gressel into P5.
Shea Gemmel right now is on the bubble. He is the 10th quickest. One more group set to come out, and here's who's coming. From Cambridge, the Cambridge Rigging Transaxle H2 Go Mobile Wash Chevrolet number 84, it's J.R. Fitzpatrick. The NTN Bearings Wellington Systems number 83 Chevrolet, he's from Guelph, it's Dale Shaw. The number 29, J. Beck's Construction, Crow's Gas and Car Wash Chevrolet, number 29 out of Norwood, it's Flying Ryan Kimball. And last but not least, he's doing double duty here tonight, and this could be a breakout night for Sean Chenoweth. He's had his battles over the last couple of years. He is due. The London Recreational Racing, Mannheim Apex Oil, Caldecott Millwright Services, number 89C, out of Plattsville, Sean Chenoweth.
Well, we saw what Chenoweth can do opening races. He fought from the back, up into the top 10 in that 89C. Biggest story of the day during practice was that 84, of J.R. Fitzpatrick. They broke a piece of suspension in the rear, had to get towed off the Speedway. He was P1 in qualifying at the time. They put the sheet over the car, got the welder out, did some work on that 84 machine and that brand new McCall race car. You see him working through 3 and 4 right now. And to the stripe, J.R. Fitzpatrick. We'll see if they got the repairs right.
You can actually see the way that car is set up, the strain it is putting on the right rear corner of it. Like he just launches that car into the turns.
He's sure leaning on that right rear, and it just paid off. It's a new track record for J.R. Fitzpatrick.
13.262 for J.R. Fitzpatrick, fastest lap ever run here at the Speedway in a pro late model. Faster again, a 13.236. The white flag flies. Connor James is on the bubble right now. Let's see if he can hold on, and he cannot. Connor James is bumped out for Josh Stoddy, who slips into that 10th position. 13.189, even quicker for J.R. Fitzpatrick. Dale Shaw jumps up to the 10th spot. Ryan Kimball to 4th. Sean Chenoweth fails to crack that top 10, so Jamie Maudsley give them the full field rundown from qualifying for the APC series.
With a brand new track record here for the AP Emissions Technologies 100 a little later on tonight. J.R. Fitzpatrick out of the Cambridge Air Corridor, your number one qualifier with a 13.189. It is a track record. Jake Sheridan in second, also tied the track record. Trayton Lapsevich comes home third, Ryan Kimball fourth, Kyle Steckley in fifth. Rick Spencer-Walt, our season opening winner, comes home sixth. Seventh, Andrew Gressel, the Sable Beach Road Warrior, times in seventh. Jordan House in eighth, Danny Benedict ninth, and rounding out the top 10 cars in the invert, Dale Shaw. Will throw it down trackside with our epic pole winner.
Well, you've got the pole, JR, with a new track record, 13.182, I believe it was, but you were laying down faster laps. You didn't look so good to start, though. They had to take this car off on the tow truck earlier today, and you got a heck of a rebound going.
Yeah, that just shows you how good our team is, and McCall Enterprises. This car is on rails, man. I really love this track. I'm so happy to be back here, and just got to thank Peterborough Speedway and KOD Disposal for having us back, and hopefully put on a good show. It's going to be hard coming from 10th. I mean, that's where I have to start with the points and whatnot. But, hey, it's going to be one hell of a race, and we'll promise we'll make it interesting for you.
Jared, why is Peterborough such a happy place for a lot of these race teams? So many guys are excited to be back here today.
Because it's just a track we belong at. I mean, the racing is so good here. And there's not two grooves, but it's going to be some good racing. I mean, you're going to see some side-by-side for a few laps, but some good bumping and banging. And the crowd here is always great, and we just love coming here. It's a racy track. I mean, I'm out of breath. I was holding my breath there for a couple laps. So excited to be back, and hope the fans enjoy it.
Watch for J.R. Fitzpatrick, new track record holder here today, guys, and he'll be your pole sitter for tonight's race.
Well, you can tell JR it's not so bad. He's going to get to start ninth because Trayton Lapsevich is in the top 10. He doesn't have any points, so he's going to be 10th. So JR is going to be one spot ahead of where he thought he was.
Oh, that makes it way easier.
So much easier. It will be a show. And I like that the drivers, Jamie, admit that it is a skinny racetrack. It's not a place where you're going to run side by side all night. It's going to be a place where you have to earn each and every spot. Let's take an opportunity this early in the night to take a quick break here on G-Force TV, and when we come back, we'll meet the fourth member of tonight's broadcast team. We'll be right back, folks.
I've always had the spirit that I wanted to invent something new, and so when we got into clothing, I got immersed into it, and the only way that you really understand how to build clothing is to become a pattern maker. That pattern maker concept started becoming very interesting to me because I went, I can make this better. Love it. Absolutely love designing. Doesn't matter whether it's a garment or an engine or a car, decals on our race cars. I love doing that. That's my forte.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
Welcome back to Peterborough Speedway. We are pleased to be joined by the voice of Peterborough Speedway, Mr. Charlie Toner. Charlie, it's been a fun afternoon.
We've had a blast during some of the qualifying and stuff that we've had early, and here we're going to continue with our qualifying with one of our entry-level classes, the Battlefield Equipment Bone Stocks. These are street stock cars and some of the most fun racing, and we've had a great group of these cars for years now.
Man, they were going at it even in practice this afternoon. They were crashing and banging, and I enjoy it. You know, there's a lot of hard work goes into these race cars, but I love the fact that they still seem to be smiling. You bump, you bang.
Oh, they have more of a fun, and they'll come out and bang and crash each other out here on the track and then go back and help each other fix their cars so they can go out and do it again. It is just a great bunch of people, and they have an awful pile of fun.
So we're just going to enjoy working with Charlie here, and Charlie, do your thing. If you want us to talk, you let us know.
You might as well. I mean, let's all have fun. It's all having fun up here in the tower. Let's start off with on our pole position for our second set of qualifying heats tonight, but the first one on G-Force TV. The 21 is Angelo Novus on the outside. The 02, I believe, that is Kyle Johnson, starting on the pole position. Inside row number 2 is the 12 of John Bates, and on his outside is the 09 of Corey Horn. The 6, who won his first qualifying heat earlier tonight, is the 6 of Brad Laval. 48 is Chris Kahn. And the 58 is Mark Griffin, making his return to Peterborough Speedway after a little bit of a hiatus.
So pure stocks, for funds, whatever you want to call it, bone stocks. First time I've seen a Cooper in action. That's pretty awesome.
That little Cooper is fast, and he runs high on the second line and makes passes. Keep an eye out on for Angelo Novus in that 21 Cooper Mini. Great Canadian RV green flag for the Battlefield Equipment Bone Stocks. And interestingly enough tonight, with KOD Disposal coming on to sponsor the entire night, they have tripled the take for tonight for the payout.
These guys are racing for 3 hamburgers tonight.
They're racing for 3 hamburgers. Oh, 3 wide down in 3 and 4, and we've already got some action. That's the 09 of Corey Horn getting sideways. No caution, though. Everybody back out on the track. Little agricultural debris down in turn number 4. But out in front, we were talking about how fast a Cooper is on a third-mile oval. Angelo Novus in the 21 out in front and powering it down the track. And just 2 laps in.
I was impressed by how well that 09 handled going through the grass.
Oh, he'll battle his way back up. Corey Horn is no slouch when it comes to racing here at Peterborough Speedway. And he's raced some bigger cars.
And I love the oddity that you can bring to this series, in this class, with bringing whatever you want.
It has to be... it has to be true to the year and model of the car. The engine, driveline, everything else has to be true.
We had a guy at Delaware for years ran a Scirocco.
Yes.
A Scirocco. He's here right now. He's the owner of the 07 Quickwick Superstock and Nick Grams and Jack Van Herk. He ran a Scirocco at Delaware for years.
Oh, that would have been so much fun to watch. We would have loved to have seen him here. And this is a class that actually starts welcoming racers from all over. When the Autumn Colors Classic comes up, which is, you've been here for ACC. You and I were here last year at ACC and had a blast. And we had cars, we had dirt cars, we had everything coming out to race here at the Bone Stocks.
We've had K cars show up to Delaware Speedway. Who ever thought you'd build a K car, a race car to the K car?
I moved to Ontario from New Brunswick in a Dodge 600, which is a K car that got stuck in a low bridge. All right, back to the action on the track with 2 laps to go. White flag actually coming out for Angelo Novus in the 21, the 12 of John Bates. He's going to be finishing a lot better. Brad Laval, interesting to see him that far back in the 6, in 3rd place in the 58 of Mark Griffin. Checkered flag in the air and picking up a heat win. Angelo Novus in the Cooper Mini. For all you Mini fans, there you go. Then it's the 12 of John Bates, the 6 of Brad Laval, the 58 of Mark Griffin, and a battle for 5th. And it's going to be the 0-2 of Kyle Johnson picking up the win.
How often do you want to call
5th?
How often do you want to call Angelo Novus? What's the movie? Austin Powers. Austin Powers.
Yeah, baby.
There's a replay of the 09 handling through the grass. 50-mile-an-hour lawnmower. It's funny, we've had one guy at Delaware. I mean, obviously I work at Delaware Friday nights for years. Cavaliers and Nissan Sentras. That was the dominating car to get to victory lane. This year we got a guy who said, you know what? I'm going to build a Civic and I'm going to take it to victory lane. Whereas you go here in Flamborough, you see a lot of Integras.
Yep.
Like a lot of it. Flamborough, most of the cars are Integras. It just depends on where the car works and how the gearing works.
I remember when Loves used to race here with the old-style Honda Civics.
Yep.
And this is back 16 years ago, and they were dominating this class constantly. And then they moved to mini stocks, and they dominated that class.
I want to see somebody run like a Lada or a Yugo. I think that would be just awesome.
I would love to drive a Yugo.
I would need one for each cheek. I guess my right leg is going to be driving the Yugo, but my left side's in the Lada.
All right, for our final qualifying heat of the night for the Battlefield Equipment Bone Stock, starting off in the pole position is Tegan Stanley in the 23. On his outside is brother to Brad Laval, the 06 of Christian Laval. Jacob Kelly in the 8, and on his outside is the 9 of Sean Kennedy. Victoria McLennan is in the 89. The paint is so fresh on that car, it still has painter's tape on the side of it, and that's why it's hard to see the numbers. Steve Finnegan, who won his last qualifying heat, and he is reigning points leader in this class. He has been dominating in the 26, Steve Finnegan. The 22X is Tyler Croft, and Kyle Novus, related to our last winner, Angelo Novus. Kyle Novus in the 45. He has been extremely fast as well, so keep an eye out from him. He's coming from the back of the pack.
He didn't get to drive the cool Mini, though.
No, he didn't. But, you know, somebody's got to take one for the team.
What kind of shoebox is that? Is that a Honda or a Mazda? I'll figure out what it is.
Lights go out on the Peterborough Speedway pace truck as we're going to take a green flag next time by.
That's definitely Honda-ish.
It does look like with the old Honda Civic.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. The
old
Honda
LX,
Civic.
Yep.
And that was a car that was the style of car that Loves were absolutely dominating the series here years ago.
Black with white and red, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Pace truck down to the infield. And a great Canadian RV green flag. Sean Kennedy on the outside, making a pass, trying to make it 3 wide and 1 and 2. Christian Laval is the sandwich meat in the middle. Then it's the 23 of Tegan Stanley holding on to the lead. Here comes Jacob Kelly on the inside as well. And don't count out that 26 of Steve Finnegan. He has been absolutely a bullet all season long so far. Already challenging Laval on the outside for the 3rd spot. So now with 1 lap in, it's the 23 of Tegan Stanley, Sean Kennedy, Finnegan, and Laval. 2 laps in complete of an 8-lap qualifying heat. Top 3 cars will all have to go through the Kenny U-Pull tech lane. Little bit of brake smoke, it looked like, coming out of Tegan Stanley's 23 as he was going into turn 3 last time by. But it's a 3-way battle. Sean Kennedy on the outside, Finnegan on the inside, and Tegan Stanley trying to drive with a mirror full of 2 very fast cars. 3 wide into turn 3 and 4. Tegan Stanley's going to back out of it and tuck in behind Finnegan.
Finnegan just sent it down into turn 3. No regard.
No fear. He's a cop for a reason. Finnegan out in front. Then it's a battle for second with Tegan Stanley and Sean Kennedy.
Great shot by the drone operator there. You can't get any better action than what you're seeing on the screen right now.
Hey, look, we saw him during the truck race, we've got qualifying heats coming up next, and the crowd was cheering for the drone pilot more than the trucks, I think. 2 laps to go for Steve Finnegan, and the battle for second between Tegan Stanley and Sean Kennedy is ever so close. We're looking at literally 12, not even 6 1,000ths of a second between second and third.
And the drone's running 4th right now, Charlie.
I don't know. He's pretty close to being second.
You can see the drone. He turned left too early.
Checkered flag is going to be out, and it is going to be Steve Finnegan picking up a checkered flag win under the Great Canadian RV flag stand. Now, who's it going to be for second? Sean Kennedy, Tegan Stanley in the 8, Jacob Kelly are second, third, and fourth, and Kyle Novus rounding off the top 5.
Now this has got to be drone flyers paradise, because at Flamborough they've got a wire that crosses the front stretch.
There's a wire coming out of turn 4. There's other wires elsewhere. We got wires.
He's doing well tonight.
He's doing really well.
We have donated a drone before to a cross-track cable.
Is that why he carries all those spare propellers on his back?
Sure is. Actually, I think he flew here, but it takes about 4 drones to get him up.
Frequent flyer miles.
Score that day was Cable 1, drone, no score.
All right, now it's time to bring out the trucks. And this girl has been an absolute rocket ship in the series so far, and she did win her last time out. She came from the back and won her first qualifying heat. She is starting out on the pole position. That is Stacy Switzer. Michael Feeney was not able to make the call. He was supposed to be on pole for this qualifying heat. He had a massive crash in turn 4 that ripped the whole passenger side front assembly off, suspension assembly and wheel. So he is out for the night. Stephen Beerworth in the 49, that's Stacy's dad on the outside. Then Bill O'Hara in the truck number 6, and Ethan Thompson making his debut in the Trent Lakes Complete Plumbing Renegade trucks.
Tell us more about these trucks, Charlie. What are they based on?
Well, when we first started this series a number of years ago, they were little 4-cylinder trucks. Now they are 6-cylinder trucks with basically the same suspension, tires, and setup of a Superstock. Okay, so basically they're a 6-cylinder Superstock. They post some amazing track times for a 6-cylinder truck, especially when you consider how light the back end is. These trucks want to just go out from underneath you on the backside. They're tough to drive, and these people are absolutely amazing at it.
Definitely good looking field of race trucks here this evening. All well prepared.
The first time I saw Stacy Switzer driving a Renegade truck, she was driving an old Dodge Rampage. Do you remember? They were like a K car that had basically a truck back, and that was what she was racing with. And trouble. Big trouble with O'Hara. Smoke in turn number 1.
I don't think that smoke's going to fix itself, Charlie.
No, I think that's a truck on fire.
Barbecue in turn 1.
And he's already underneath the hood trying to see if he can fix it. That's a tough break for Bill O'Hara.
Now they hit it with the fire extinguisher.
Yeah, they're hitting it again with the fire extinguisher. So I'd say his qualifying heat is definitely going to be done. The red flag is out, so that means that nobody can work on their car except for putting a fire out.
That's allowed.
Yeah, we'll allow that one. He was very quick during his first round of qualifying, so that's a tough break for Bill O'Hara on the number 6 truck.
How about that Peterborough Speedway safety crew right on top of it?
But yeah, the Trent Lake or Dart Heating and Air Conditioning safety crew are very quick, and they are all qualified on everything from their first aid to Jaws of Life. We've got a great crew out there, plus we have our ambulance staff as well on standby.
Hey, Bill, what's on fire here?
Hey?
What's on fire?
Oh, we had the battery shorted out in it, and hopefully we can get her running here.
All right, good luck. We'll get out of your way and let them get back to it. Battery short. The issue is the situation here, guys.
Well, from now on, I'm going to be calling Bill O'Hara Hot Pants. The Hot Pants of the Renegade, Trent Lakes Complete Plumbing or Renegade trucks.
Looks like they're going to be able to push him off.
So while they're clearing the track, let's talk a little bit more about the APC series and what kind of a year you guys have had for some of the people that are out here in the stands that haven't been following the APC series. It's been an absolutely exciting series to watch this year.
The first race, we were under the threat of rain. We ended up getting it in. It was an absolutely fabulous show.
Under the threat of rain, half the speedway here in Peterborough blew away that day.
Yes, it did.
That was more than under the threat of rain.
But we did get it in. Rick Spencer-Walt obviously capturing a win at his home track of Sunset. And then event number 2, it was J.R. Fitzpatrick coming from deep in the pack to claim his first win of the year. And, you've got 12, 14 cars that could win tonight.
So we've had home track advantage win round 1, home track advantage win round 2 with J.R. Fitzpatrick. Who do we give home track advantage to here at Peterborough Speedway? Who do we think is the most familiar?
Ryan Kimball. Yeah, that's my call.
That's who we featured at the top of the show.
That's my call. This is his home track. He has done a phenomenal here. He's a track champion here. This guy knows how to win at Peterborough Speedway, and he knows how to use the track to his advantage and to the disadvantage of others. That's my call. Green flag, once again, try for a green flag here for the Trent Lakes Complete Plumbing Renegade trucks. Tonight sponsored by KOD Disposal. It's daughter and dad out in front. Stephen Beerworth, Stacy Switzer.
Somebody pointing out in the tower that everybody here's got a good chance of podium finish.
Well, this particular group has already had 2 trucks taken out tonight. Obviously, Bill O'Hara with the fire and Mike Feeney with a bad crash in turn 4.
Did we ever hear the cause? I saw it happen. It was he hit the wall pretty stiff.
I think he broke suspension on the front right is what my guess would be, but I didn't hear an official word back.
He definitely used that truck up in 3 and 4 earlier in practice tonight.
So daughter is leading dad, Stacy Switzer, over Stephen Beerworth. And then it's the 27 of Ethan Thompson. So there are some tracks that have rules about when drivers go to a super stock or a late model. But they can't go back down to like the mini stocks or the Battlefield equipment for bone stocks. But the trucks are unique. You can be from any class and you can race in the trucks. And these trucks are fast. We're looking at times here, mid-16s. 16.771 for Stacy, 16.919, so high 16s for Stephen Beerworth. Some pretty quick times for these guys, considering what they're driving. A 6-cylinder truck that's very light on the back end and hard to control. White flag this time by for Stacy Switzer, Stephen Beerworth, and Ethan Thompson. This is the money lap for the qualifying heat. They'll roll the dice. The leaders will roll the dice. Whoever qualifies the best. I'm thinking that's going to be Stacy Switzer that's going to be rolling the dice tonight. She picks up the heat win. Stephen Beerworth in second. And rounding off the trucks left on the field is Ethan Thompson in the 27.
Dave Franks walking across the infield there to hand the winner a checkered flag. How many of those walks do you figure Dave Franks has made over the years?
There'd be 7 digits in the number, I'm sure, yeah. I've said it before, Dave was old when I was young, Adam.
I think he's got more miles around a track than he does driving 2 trucks.
You are probably correct.
And in cowboy boots, too. He does all his walking in cowboy boots. Like, that is hardcore.
He is a fixture in Southern Ontario motorsports.
Now, for our final qualifying heat for the Peterborough Speedway classes that are racing here tonight, the KOD presentation of the Trent Lakes Complete Plumbing Renegade truck. Starting off in our pole position is the Superman Boundy Roofing sponsored ride of Paul Boundy. On his outside is Sean Murray in the 55. Kyle Gordon in the Just Hockey BioSteel CCM and Speedy Auto Machine sponsored ride is on the inside of row number 2. And he is one of these guys. He's raced late models and super stocks, and he's one of these very fast drivers, and he was very quick in qualifying heat earlier on this evening. On his outside is Terry Hubbard in the 31. And rounding off the field is the 66 of Jordan DeRoche. A Hot Wheels 66. Gold's Gym sponsored ride. Kind of makes you want to have a Hot Wheels, to bring home. That's what Jordan needs to do, is get some die cast made of that truck.
I think it's a stellar idea right there.
I like the Superman truck. That's kind of cool.
It's like a battle of die-cast trucks out on the track. Lights are out on the Peterborough Speedway pace truck. It's going to dip down to the infield and turn these trucks loose one more time. And from here on out, it's nothing but features. Green, green, Great Canadian RV, green flag. Boundy and Murray battling it out. Kyle Gordon in third spot down on the inside of Murray. Oh, he gets inside of him. He spins around and up into the wall. Gordon up hard into the wall. And that's going to bring out a caution. He definitely did some damage to the 52 truck in turn number 4 after making contact with Sean Murray in the 55. So the Dart Heating and Air Conditioning safety truck on their way out to see how Kyle's making out. Probably going to have to get out and go out on the hook. It looks like some damage to the front right of that truck, suspension damage that he's going to have to go back and work very hard. Well, you got it on the replay.
Yeah, good look at the replay there, and he hit hard on the replay too.
Yeah, there was no way of denying how hard that hit was in turn 4, and that'll be the second truck that turn 4 has claimed tonight. Driver is okay. No damage to Sean Murray's truck, other than a little bit of pride.
That's the hardest to buff out. When you hurt your pride, that's...
Hey, I have seen someone hit turn 4 so hard, the driver got out, picked his hood that came off the car in the impact, and he carried, that was the only part of the car he carried across the start-finish line.
Might have been the only straight piece left, too.
That was the only straight piece left of the car.
Now, if you pick up the transponder and do that, does it count? Do you score that lap?
Is that like a Ricky Bobby moment? Look, Mom, I'm going fast.
I think effort needs to be rewarded.
Well, you see, he's not too happy with the fellow that he was inside of, and he was in there, too. Like, to the door in there when the door got slammed shut.
Let's have another look at this, fellas. I mean, he was all the way to the number.
Yeah, can't get any further along.
So, okay, so there's the it was the second hit. So the first hit spins the 55 around, and that's, you know, that happens. But it's the second one that puts him up in the air, and that's what catches the wall. You can't steer very well when the front tires are off the track.
Oh, weird thing about that, especially turn 4. Turn 4 is one of those hard turns, and you know it better than most people.
That wall comes at you very quickly.
We got a message from a Peterborough regular, Donovan Price, watching at home. Unfortunately, he said he couldn't have his car ready, but he is watching, said everything looks good from Peterborough.
Donovan, we miss you. We do. It's always fun when the Price brothers are in town.
See, I'm not okay with this. I do not forgive Donovan for not being here at the racetrack, even without a race car. Get in your vehicle, drive to we love that people watch on G-Force, but once in a while, somebody's watching who should have been at the track.
Yes.
So, come on.
I like Donovan because I've got into the iRacing thing, and I race with a bunch of kids, guys like Ray Morneau and Brandon Schaller, and they just wax my old ass all the time. And nice thing about Donovan Price, him and I seem to run together at the back of the pack, and we're just fine that way.
He's a good dude. He's one of the good guys. But and I would like to see him at a racetrack, so we're right on both counts. But great that when people can't be here that we're able to deliver the product at home. But there's no better experience. If you are a fan, you should be here at the racetrack. This is where you can smell it and feel it. And you can
taste it.
And there's some good food.
We got some good food.
Oh, there's some good food.
So the people that design and cook the food here at Peterborough Speedway are caterers. Okay, JP's parents are absolutely amazing. They design the menu, and I tell you, the food is to die for. We have the best poutine at any racetrack in Canada, in my opinion.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I can't deny that.
So, unfortunately for Jordan DeRoche, he's down in the infield with his hood off of his truck. So, again, we're down to 3 trucks for a qualifying heat.
Looks like a flea market down there. One at this end,
They'll be
one at
selling
that
parts at each end.
Well, let's see, what do we got here?
Beautiful day here. I hope everybody enjoyed their morning and their afternoon doing whatever it was you were doing.
That damage looks very familiar to Mike Feeney's.
I think the other guy hit harder.
He did hit harder, yeah.
At least if one truck hits the left front, one truck hits the right front, you might be able to combine the good parts and get one of them out for the next race. But when everyone hits with the right front, there's no spares.
These have the same suspension systems as some of the super stocks that are back there. So, super stock guys, keep an eye on your cars.
Don't walk away from your race cars.
That's the best part about the 4 funds or the
They're all stock. They're pure stock.
We've had situations at Delaware where you go in the parking lot after you see a Sunfire on jacks because somebody needed a control arm.
So we'll try this restart again with only 3 trucks. Paul Boundy. Actually, I mixed up. Jordan DeRoche is out there. It was the Terry Hubbard in the 31 that's in the infield. Sorry about that. So Jordan DeRoche on the outside of Paul Boundy, then the 55 of Murray. Murray will start at the back because he is an involved truck in the last accident that brought out the caution.
Scorers are loving this, Charlie. This is an easy one to keep track of.
And we have transponders, so it's really easy to keep track of 3 trucks.
I don't think anybody's going a lap down. This is where I could jump in and tell you that the scorer's job's super easy. Is a race like this. This one I've got no problem.
The Boundy Roofing Superman.
And we've seen Paul Boundy in the Quick Wick series before.
Yes, you have. And like I said, super stock drivers, they love these trucks.
Super stock, Superman, Paul Boundy showing the way off of 4.
Halfway this time by for Paul Boundy, Sean Murray, and Jordan DeRoche. Murray looking for a chance to get by the Superman. See, I have such a habit of just watching the track and then realize that you actually get a live video feed in the studio. It's more fun to watch in real life, though.
It creates bad habits.
Yes, but it's really hard to get an instant replay when you're watching it from the track. 2 laps to go for Boundy, Murray, and DeRoche. White flag this time by for Paul Boundy and Sean Murray and Jordan DeRoche. Checkered flag this time by. And it's going to be the Boundy Roofing Superman 08. Paul Boundy picking up the win. Sean Murray in second. Jordan DeRoche rounding off the 3 left on the track. So Kyle Gordon and Terry Hubbard will get a DNS that did not start because they were unable to start. So they will get points for showing up, but hopefully they can get their trucks put back together and able to come back out for the feature race.
That'll bring us to our first feature of the evening, Charlie. Super Stocks up next. Quick Wick Super Stock, 50 lapper.
And we've seen the Quick Wick Super Stocks here before at Autumn Colors.
Well, last year was the first year that that APC was involved, and they had an actual series for the Super Stocks. It was 5 events plus a bunch of home track points. So same cars you can run at Sunset, Flamborough, and Delaware Speedway, as well as Peterborough.
Yep.
So you got some tracks or some points from your home track total, and then the 5 travel races. One of them was here last year, a standalone event, no late models. It was just a Quick Wick series, and it was Carson Nagy going to Victory Lane.
So for the crowd down there, give it up for the Trent Lakes Complete Plumbing Boundy Roofing 08. That's Paul Boundy picking up the green flag under the Great Canadian, or the checkered flag under the Great Canadian RV flag stand. But yeah, back to the Quick Wick Super Stocks. We had a great show with them the last time they were here at Peterborough Speedway, and that's an interesting thing. A lot of the tracks, for years and years and years, everybody had different rules at different tracks for the same classes. And we used to have the rule here for the Autumn Colors Classic is home track rules. Well, now that all the home tracks have standardized a lot of these rules, it's a very level, even playing field when they come from different tracks to come race here at Peterborough Speedway, and likewise when they go out to Sunset and Sauble and everywhere else.
Everybody played the game. I will.
Oh yeah.
I won't mention the name, but there was one driver who lived 25 minutes from Delaware, but he was, and I'm using air quotes right now, a Sauble Speedway home car.
Yes.
Why? Because he liked the rules package better. And he won.
Now that doesn't work.
And he won 3 Great Canadians in a row in a super stock using Sauble rules when he lived 20 minutes from Delaware. So it's great that that APC has kind of universalized the rules amongst all the tracks with both the late models and the super stocks.
So one of the great things about Peterborough Speedway and fundraisers that is done with the Millville Lions or Millbrook Lions and Legion is the 50-50. And
that's some dough, Charlie.
$922.50 up for grabs in the 50-50. So the winning ticket number 1860390. 1860390. You have picked up $922.50, which, by the way, that does buy brownies for like the announcer crew. Just putting it out there. And the scoring guys, yes. So that number again, 1860390 for $922.50 in the 50-50 draw.
You see, the announcers are talking about we'd buy brownies with the 50-50 money. If it was a racer that won, right in the tire budget.
Tire and go-go juice.
Yep.
So let's take a quick break here on GeForce TV while we wait for the Super Stocks to get on the track, the pit crews to get down into the pit area. We will be right back with 50 laps of on-track action with the Quick Super Stock Series.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickwick.com.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Welcome back to Peterborough Speedway, where we're looking at the backside of a flagman. I believe that might have been Sean Gibbs from behind, but I'm not really sure.
Or an Eclipse, one
But
of the
Charlie,
two.
through the miracle of technology, let's look at the upcoming calendar for Peterborough Speedway. I love that you reached for your schedule.
I do. I have this. I have the paper version of my schedule up in it, but I'm going to read it off the screen. So coming up next weekend, June 25th, Autism Awareness with 6 divisions featuring our late models, modifieds, and the TQ midgets are in town. This is a traveling series you do not want to miss. I have never seen something that small called this fast around a track. They will actually be faster than a late model. Fan appreciation on July 2nd. That is, of course, our July 1st weekend with fan appreciation tuning night. 5 divisions featuring the late models. They're going to be back here at Peterborough Speedway. On July 9th, the Pure Country 105 presentation of the mid-season bash, 6 divisions featuring late models, legends, and King of the Hill. That's right, race your neighbor, bring the fastest car, street car you got, and bring it here. And you better have a letter from your mom if you're driving your mom's race car. 6 divisions featuring Ontario Sportsman Series also on July 9th. The Sportsman Series, late models and kids barrel races, that's all coming up on July the 9th. Going to be a great night of racing. And $4 to get in. Like, seriously?
It's so much fun. Coming to Peterborough Speedway is a real treat. Now being from Cambridge and growing up in Burlington, it was a long haul, so I haven't been here a ton of times, but every time it was something special. I mean, this place is special to me. Racing here, I loved racing on this track.
You got to remember, this track is one of the oldest tracks, if not the oldest track in Ontario.
Yeah, I remember there's some history there. We could probably ask Jim Clark sitting in front of us what the history is, because Westgate Speedway, of course, is what it was called. But I'm not sure it does have a distinction. It's been around. So earlier this season, we had a media day. And we got a chance to talk to some of these drivers. We're about to give the starting lineup, but let's quickly find out what these drivers' favorite racetrack food is, their pre-race meal that they like the most.
I don't eat on race days until after the race is finished.
A bowl of soup and a sandwich.
Pizza or nothing?
Pizza.
A Subway sandwich.
Probably a cheeseburger.
Seafood from the Twisted Hook or pizza from MJ's Roadhouse last year.
Don't often eat before races, but probably just a Subway sandwich.
Pre-race meal. I like spaghetti. I'm kind of getting into the spaghetti.
I usually don't eat.
I just like all food.
I don't eat on race day. I don't eat for a couple days if I'm real nervous before a race.
Whatever's in the trailer.
It goes from whatever I can reach to I don't eat for a week before or after a race.
Hey, I didn't get this way by looking at food.
You ain't kidding.
And the best track food, right here, Peterborough Speedway.
It's pretty darn good. I can't deny you there.
We were talking about how old the track is. 55 years Peterborough Speedway's been here.
55 years. So by contrast, Flamborough Speedway, they've been 50 years with the same owners and promoters. The Casali brothers.
Yep.
50 years with the same people.
Yeah, this track's had a few different owners. But
yeah, Kim Wallace.
Yep.
Going back through the years. Who else did I know aside from Kim?
Kim owned it for a long time.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
I think it went right from Kim to JP.
I think it did. Anyhow, enough of that. Enough a trip down memory lane. Let's talk about the starting lineup. Here's how they're going to line up to come to the green flag. Starting in 20th from Aaron, the Corcoran Contracting Quick Dip Bools Freedom Village of Canada Chevrolet. Number 31, it's Chad Corcoran. On the inside of row number 10 from Port Hope, the City Dairy Peterborough. Number 21, it's Marley Owen. Starting on the outside of row number 9, the 56X out of Acton, the Stewart's Equipment, NRD Byproducts Chevrolet, number 56, it's Brandon McFerrin. On the inside of row 8 from Cambridge, the London Recreational Racing Chevrolet, number 13, Justin Collison. In the number 72 from Cambridge, the Bunzel Chevrolet number 72 is Randy Rusnell. To his inside from Durham, the Caldecott Millwright Services CM Precision Machining and Welding Struck Energy System Chevrolet number 71, Corey McAllister. And driving the number 88 from Otterville, the Spark Power Castrol Edge APC Auto Parts Chevrolet, it's Rick Verburn. And in the number 33 from Southampton, the Bester Forest Products Ford, it's Roy Wilkie. Driving the number 73, the Alexander Glass and Door Chevrolet from Hamilton, Nick Troback. And in the number 28 from Aylmer, the Douglas Windows and Doors APC Auto Parts Center, Duckstater Property Maintenance Chevrolet number 28, Ryan Dyson. Starting in the 10th spot, from Orono, the Liquid Moly Auto Tires and Safeties Platinum RV Sales and Service Chevrolet number 38, Brandon Feeney. Starting 9th from Warsaw, the Kawartha Heavy Equipment Repair, Dart Heating and Air Conditioning, TG Quirk Towing number 60, Bailey Jacobs. Row 4 on the outside from Walkerton, the Bester Forest Products, Leslie Ford, Shelby Roofing and Sheet Metal Ford, number 36, Lane Zardo. Starting 7th from Stouffville, the Way Freight Services, 905 Customs, Line X Newmarket Ford, Garrett Temersma. Starting 6th in the VP Specialized Carriers Pro Way Solutions Yarmouth Group Chevrolet number 7 from St. Thomas, Pete Vanderweest. Starting 5th, defending winner of this event from Mount Hope, the Queenston Chevrolet Buick GMC Fielding Estate Winery Pure Energy Dance Studio, number 93, Carson Nagy. Starting 4th, from Elsa Craig, the Inventory Express Lubricants, Carter Trucking, Lux Homes, Ahmed Waka's Chevrolet number 1, Trevor Culver. To his inside from Paisley, the number 8, it's Jason Parker. Now race fans, your front row. On the outside of row number 1 from Mitchell, the APC Auto Parts Center, Mitchell Cycle, Robson Scrap Metal Chevrolet number 07, Nick Ramsey. And your pole sitter doing double duty here tonight. He's got the best seat in the house for the start of this one. Starting first in the London Recreational Racing, Mannheim Apex Oil, Caldecott Millwright Services Chevrolet. From Plattsville, the 89C, it's Sean Chenoweth. Race fans, that is your starting lineup for our 50-lap Quick Super Stock Series feature event. A great looking field of cars. And that's how they'll line up to roll to the green flag. Jamie Maudsley, what's your predictions? Talk to me about this upcoming race.
Well, the race here last year was fabulous. Again, we saw Carson Nagy go to victory lane. He had the thing on rails, though, last year. Don't think they found the same setup in that 93 today. If I had to pick a guy that will go to the front here tonight, I'm going to go with someone a little more local and say that 17 Garrett Demers, but now's the time he snaps through and wins one tonight.
Hey, you could be right on the money. Clinton Jeffrey, you want to take this away? It is time for the most famous words in motorsports.
All right, you fans ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Drivers, start your engines.
just like that, the field rumbles to life. Charlie Toner, we got a couple of local racers who are mighty quick here. You've seen a lot of action here at Peterborough Speedway. What do you think we can watch for?
Two of them up in the top 10, actually starting 9th and 10th. The 60 of Bailey Jacobs is no stranger to Peterborough Speedway. He has done very well here at Peterborough. And the 38, they're bringing a brand new car to him, to the track and to the season this year, Brandon Feeney. He has been running consistently in the top 5 every time he comes out, sometimes challenging for the lead, but it has always been very close. Keep an eye out for that Liqui-Moly number 38. Marley Owen, what can I say? She comes from a pedigree of racing that is amazing, and Marley has a victory here before in seasons past, and she has been one of those strong racers and a crowd favorite. She's way at the back of the pack, but do not count her out. She knows how to pick and choose and be patient on a long race.
There's another driver at the back of the pack that I'd like to pay some attention to. He was at a wedding last night. That's part of the reason he was a little bit late here today. But this is also a brand new car fresh out of the box for Chad Corcoran. That 31 machine, I reeled off a number of sponsors because we know them from our entry blanks, but there was not a single name. There is not a name on the car. They haven't had time to do that yet. So it'll be interesting to watch Chad Corcoran and Marley Owen try to work their way through the field.
As much as you want to get everything lettered before you get here, it's more important to have everything tightened up under the bonnet for sure.
It's actually not a terrible idea to bring a car to the track without any lettering on it. We've seen how some of these events can go. But these super stock racers have shown us there is a lot of talent behind the wheel of these race cars. There's young talent, but there's also some veteran presence out there. Pete Vanderwees in the 7, Jason Parker in the 8, and there's more cars coming.
I think you're going to see Jamie Cox out soon. Obviously, we're going to Delaware in a few weeks for the next stop. You're going to see Andrew Ferreira out there. Jay Dewar's got a super stock. He'll be in action.
John Gaunt, I hear, is putting a car together.
That'll be awesome.
So, I mean, which will be a lot of fun. Now, I've also heard he's got an Oscar Hot Rod in the works. I've heard a lot from the Gaunt crew, but I haven't seen him out at the racetrack. So,
well, you know how rumors work, right? If you haven't heard a good one by noon in racing, just start one.
That's why I don't do a whole lot of homework. So much there. Not that anyone is telling a mistruth. I mean, I'm sure somebody is, but a lot of times there's information that goes out there that's just not entirely accurate.
I don't know if you're like this. I mean, we've been doing this for almost 30 years. Like, I remember back in my early 20s when we were much younger, you know, I get the schedule and I would know what was racing that Friday night. People ask me now on Tuesday, you know, what's racing Friday? I'm just going to show up and there's going to be cars there.
I often don't know where I'm going to be. Like, forget about what is racing.
I know. Is that just in the racetrack world? Or
no. Race fans, get up on your feet, grab your hat, grab your program, give these drivers a wave. They're going to be waving back to you.
I think life's more fun if you live every day like a high wire act.
Well, exactly. I got married in 2003. I haven't had to wonder what I was about to do in 20 years.
I haven't made a decision in 19 years.
I wear the pants in my family as soon as my wife tells me which ones to put on.
I know where I'm going to be on Saturday nights.
Yeah, fair enough. Actually, I am excited. Thursday, we fly down to St. John's, Newfoundland, for the NASCAR Pinty Series race. I've never been to Newfoundland, so my wife and I are going to go down.
They don't call it the Rock for nothing.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm so blessed to get to see some great places and meet some great people. But tonight, it is all about Peterborough Speedway. Look at that beautiful field of super stocks. We're going to set them loose this time at a turn number 4.
Chenoweth, Ramsey on the front row. The Plattsville driver in the 89C. Again, he's got a couple wins here in a late model doing double duty tonight. And he is going to bring him down to see Sean Gibbs in the green flag. And we are underway, 50 laps of quick super stock action.
Boy, that bright sunshine is going to be a factor for these drivers down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and into turn 4. Chenoweth with a great start, but Jason Parker as well gets up to that second position. We got a smoker at the back.
Yeah, Rick Verburn, his main goal was to get to the bottom. He was able to shuffle in front of Corey McAllister. Looked like maybe just some brake smoke off that 88 when he got down into turn 3.
Oh, actually.
that might be Wilkie. No, the outside car. Nick Troback. Maybe they're just all smoking.
I think they're hard on the brakes trying to go 3 wide into turn 3.
Well, I can tell you that's not a good idea.
Adam, at Flamborough, we noticed the 36 and the 33 with a lot of smoke pouring out of the exhaust every time they went through the corner. I had a chance to ask car owner Ken Grubb about that. He said, all I know is our motor builder's not worried.
No, and Lane said something along those same lines. That's just how they run, big guy.
John Saunders power under the hood of that 36 and the 33. Wilkie trying to work his way from deep in the pack. There's Carson Nagy, last year's winner. Hey, he's already up into the 3rd spot after rolling off 7th. That 93 is chugging.
Car looks a little bit loose here in the early going under Nagy. In fact, he's moved up the racetrack on entry and exit. He is really wagging the tail on that 93 machine. It's allowing Chenoweth in the 89 and Parker in the 8 to get away.
Found a couple guys talking about that earlier tonight, and most of them figured that this track would tighten up, or the cars would tighten up as they started to work through that run. We'll see if that 93 comes to them. Still got a quick car right now. We got a scramble near the back of the pack. 13 of Cullison involved, as well as Corey McAllister.
Rick Verburn hesitated just a little bit in turn 2. Corey McAllister got into the back end and then lifted. Justin Collison was involved and lifted as well. Brandon McFerrin shot to the outside to take advantage of the situation.
And we see Corcoran and Marley Owen both struggling deep in the pack to make some passes. Still well at the back of the pack. Now here we got Tameersma to the inside of the 07 of Nick Ramsey. This is going to be for 4th spot, and Tameersma's going to close the deal down into 1.
Ooh, Ramsey trying to close the door on Lane Zardo. They make contact. Ramsey all sorts of sideways. That didn't stop Zardo from keeping that fender right up the inside of the 07. Lane Zardo's going to pick up a spot, and here goes Bailey Jacobs.
Zardo with a little
trouble.
Check on the way by.
Turn 4, they get sorted out. Randy Russell got the worst end of that, but all 4 or 5 of those cars came together.
And how about that, Nick Ramsey? He got passed by Zardo. Then next thing you know, Bailey Jacobs went by, Pete Vanderwas went by, and Culver went by as well. So you don't want to get kicked to the outside groove here at Peterborough.
No, that's for sure. But he did the smart thing. He didn't fight too hard. Just get back in line when you can, regroup, and start clicking laps away. But already we're 12 laps into this 50-lap race. They click off in a hurry.
Not going to take long to get through this one. Again, quarter of the way through it. Pete Vanderwas now on the charts. He's chomping at the bit, working on that 60 of Bailey Jacobs. Culver right there as well.
Randy Russell at risk of going a lap down here in the 72 machine. Chenoweth going to close in on the back end. He'll look to the inside through turn number 2. We'll see if Russell heats way. Oh, Russell gets up on the wall. We got a battle for 3rd.
How about that? Garrett Tameersma, the Way Freight machine, to the inside of Carson Nagy, who will bypass your 2021 winner of the event. Put Garrett Tameersma up to P3. And we've also got Jason Parker gaining on the leader.
Yeah, he's been close to Chenoweth. Not really close enough to mount a challenge, but definitely keeping pace with the race leader. As we said, Flamborough Speedway, it went green to checkered, so you cannot afford to ride too many laps. You got to get up on the wheel and go.
And I think if you add up the ages of the drivers in 3rd and 4th, I don't know if they'd equal the age of the guy in 2nd spot right there. Parker getting it done up into 2nd. Now you're going to see the 93 of Nagy will clear that Rusno car. He's in 4th. 5th Lane Zardo, your point leader right behind them.
Sean Chenoweth setting the pace right now. Let's have a quick look at the clock. Jason Parker is about half a tenth a second quicker that lap, but it's really not going to matter. It's the car that can navigate slower traffic and open the holes and drive through them.
They're going to be in some heavy traffic here soon. It's another Flamborough regular in front of Chenoweth. He'll move to the inside and bypass the 13 of Cullison.
Whoa.
And problems on that London recreational racing machine. He was all out of shape in 3 and 4.
Not much grip up there on the high side for Justin Collison, but he gathers the car in. Corey McAllister gets right down the racetrack and out of the way, allows Sean Chenoweth to the high side. Chenoweth opened a gap, working around the Collison number 13. Chenoweth opened an advantage over Parker in the 2nd spot.
He'll clear Corey McAllister. And now we got the 60 of Jacobs down into 1, going to work on Culver. Ramsey in that mix. Good 3 cars scramble down the backstretch now.
Bailey Jacobs had a handful of steering wheel there. He was rudder full right to save that 60 machine. Did a nice job doing so.
Good look at the 28 of Ryan Dyson as well. Qualified just outside the top 10. There's Chenoweth off turn 2 and down the backstretch. That 89C has opened that lead up the whole straightaway over the new age Punisher, Jason Parker.
Marley Owen just got around the 33 of Roy Wilkie. Message must have been delivered that the leaders are coming. It's time to go. Wilkie up the high side. Sean Chenoweth putting him a lap down, driving by on the inside as the laps continue to click away. It'll be halfway this time. 25 laps in, 25 to go.
Don Gibb giving him the cross flag atop the flag stand. Again, Chenoweth hustling down that backstretch in that beautifully prepared 89C, the Plattsville driver, backed by London Recreational Racing. Our friends Mike Schmidt, Manheim Apex Oil, Caldecott Millwright Services.
Randy Russell bringing that 72 machine down pit lane. An early exit for Russell from this one. It's been a tough day. From practice to qualifying to the race, Russell just never found the speed they would have liked.
Now, they struggled at Flamborough as well in the season opener. Tough break for the Rocket Randy Russell, one of the top superstock drivers in the province over the last 10 years or so. They are on pit lane, working under the hood of that car. As you see Chenoweth working on Marley Owen. Now we've got a battle for position. That is Brendan McFerrin and the 88 of Rick Verburn down into one. As you see your leader now working through that lap traffic, just picking them up and laying them down.
He sure is. Chenoweth to the outside of Corcoran in the 31. He's pulled away from Parker in the 8, but Garrett Teemersma looking to take over that second spot. Teemersma continues to close in on the 8 machine, but it's been a long journey for him to get there.
Carson Nagy rolls fourth. Lane Zarda, your point leader, in fifth. He has been caught by Pete Vanderwood, so action's going to heat up there for that top 5 position. You got Culver sitting in 7th, Jacobs 8th, Ramsey 9th, and Ryan Dyson rounding out the top 10, the 38 of Feeney on the outside of that top 10 looking in.
Until we're proven otherwise, I think the battle is Lane Zardo and Garrett Teemersma for the points. So right now, 2 spots between Zardo and Teemersma. He has to pay attention to that. He's always going to fight to keep cars behind him, but the comparison with that 17 is going to be what's important for the 36.
I tell you what, you can't count that 7 of Pete Vanderwood out. He got his feet wet in the Super Stocks last year. He's a former winner on the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series or the CASCAR Super Series. He's been getting it done. He's sitting 6th right now, and he was pressuring Zardo before they got in on some lap traffic. That Best of Wood Products machine, definitely not as fast as we saw at Flamborough.
Well, and with his CASCAR experience, he would have turned a lot of laps here at Peterborough Speedway. Look at the battle for second heating up. Garrett Teemersma right up on the back end of Jason Parker in the 8 as they race down into turn 3, right behind the 21 of Marty Owen.
Owen holding the second place car up. Now Parker's going to dive to the inside. Owen will give him the lane down in 1 and 2. Teemersma will follow through as well. That battle for second, and then also that battle for 4th going on just behind that. You see Carson Nagy holding off the 36 of Lane Zardo with Vanderwood's kitty by the door.
Sean Chenoweth puts Rick Verburn a lap down. They're almost 3 wide in lap traffic coming off of turn number 2. Trevor Culver goes around the 71 of Corey McAllister. Bailey Jacobs in the 60 thought about driving up the middle, thought better of it.
13 cars left on the lead lap here with 13 to go. This one has got over in a hurry, and Adam, I know you hate to jinx it, we're 88 laps into the Quick Wick Series this year. Between race 1 and tonight, we still have yet to see a yellow flag.
We're going to have a yellow this season sooner or later, but I'm enjoying what we're seeing. In fact, Lane Zardo working the inside of Carson Nagy for position. Drives down the inside to turn number 3. Pete Vanderwee's glued to the back bumper of that number 36.
And while that was going on, Garrett Teemersma swooped to the inside of Jason Parker last time down the front stretch and grabbed second. What a battle for 4th. Nagy on the high side, Zardo on the bottom, and the 7 of Vanderwee's giving Zardo a hand with the bumper on the way through.
Vanderwee's giving emotional support and a little bit of a push to Lane Zardo, but Carson Nagy fighting hard on the high side. He's going to lose that battle. Carson Nagy back to the 6th spot.
Don't think that 93 ever tightened up like he thought it would. as he follows Vanderwist down into 1 and 2. Now Vanderwist getting racy with your point leader off turn 2. Had the 36 all out of shape, lifted. Now takes a peek to the inside, gets him jacked up again in 3 and 4.
He just sailed it down into turn number 3, kept Lane Zardo light in the back end. And I don't see this ending anytime soon. Vanderweest's going to try to heat up the rear tires on the 36 machine.
I don't know how they're going to be heated up if they're off the ground. Vanderwist putting the pressure on Zardo. Vanderwist, one tough competitor.
Again, a little bit of bumper loving from Pete Vanderweest onto the 36 Lane Zardo. We'll keep our eyes locked on this battle as Sean Chenoweth carving his way through slower traffic. Oh, there we go.
Well, Vanderwist 5 to go this time by. Vanderwist looked to the high side of Zardo. Zardo went up and blocked, and that put Carson Nagy right back in the mix for that 4th spot.
Nice move by Carson Nagy. Opportunity knocked, and he opened the door. Here comes Trevor Culver to join the mix as well. What a battle for position. 5 cars racing for that 4th spot.
2 Delaware regulars right in the middle there. Carson Nagy, Vanderwist, and Culver all chasing down the Flamborough regular in the Bester Wood Products, and your point leader, Lane Zardo. Zardo comes across the line again, 4 to go. Zardo sitting 4th and leading this train down the backstretch.
And I mean, if there's no yellow to get to the end of this race, it's not for a lack of effort, because these drivers are trying.
They've been beating and banging off each other just enough.
Yep. Good,
just enough.
Good short track racing. Lane Zardo getting really good drive off the car. Oh, trouble in turn 3.
Harley Owen around.
Well,
Grandma?
97 laps.
I told you I wasn't going to jinx it.
You know what? Hats off, folks. Even if you're at home, give a round of applause to these super stock racers.
Wow.
It's not for a lack of cars. It's not for a lack of effort. It's just quality racing.
You know, we stand up here all day long during races, but I'm on my tiptoes watching this because it's so darn exciting. I mean, the tightest racing I have seen, the toughest racing. This is just going to bunch everybody up for what, 2-lap dash?
And we thought it was over. We thought Chenoweth had it in hand. And Grandma, put your teeth back in. We got ourselves a stock car race.
You got to watch all the way to the end, that's for sure. And really, Sean Chenoweth has been unchallenged. He has been amazing in lap traffic. But beyond that, he hasn't had to contend with Garrett Tiemersma up close and personal. If you're Garrett Tiemersma, as bad as you want to win a race,
you got to think big picture.
Exactly. How much are you thinking about big picture out there? I'm not sure who his spotter is. I'm not sure who's on the radio with Garrett out there, but I would be curious as to what the conversation is like. Clinton Jeffrey, are you anywhere near the Tiemersma pit to talk about whether there's any conversation about how hard he should race for this win?
Well, let's see if we can find out.
Actually, blast from the past today, Adam. Uncle Derek was here to watch tonight.
Very cool.
He said, I'm making my 1 annual pilgrimage to the racetrack. I am here this evening.
This is how old habits get renewed.
Yeah. He didn't say he wanted another car by any stretch of the imagination.
It's tough to watch a race like this and not wish you were out there. So what they're doing, they're taking all the lap down cars, sending them to the back.
No.
You can hear Clinton down there introducing himself, because Clinton only talks to people when there's trouble. There hasn't been any trouble.
No, we got the Garrett crew, Adam. I'm doing what you told me. What's he saying out there?
Garrett really likes the car. It's fast, but he was fine in second. We didn't need this restart. It's tough on the outside. Everyone's racing really respectful, so we're hoping it goes clean to the end.
There you have it, Adam, from the Tiemersma crew.
I'll tell you, I like the fact that he said everyone is racing real respectful. He didn't say everybody was being respectful. There's some hope there that it may carry on.
But what happens with 2 to go, though?
It'll be a 3-lap run. So 47 laps are complete. It'll be 3 laps to the end. If you're Garrett Tiemersma, you know Sean Chenoweth is a veteran. Sean Chenoweth is as talented a stock car racer as anybody at the track today. You're not going to put one over on him. You're not going to outwit him. You're not going to outskill him on this restart. What you need to hope is that he'll give you a little bit of room to operate. And how can I prevent myself from getting freight trained like Nick Ramsey did earlier in this race?
Can you take the lead from the outside? That's the big question.
I've seen it done.
It can be done, but against a car as good as Sean Chenoweth?
Got to really keep him pinched down if you want to take this lead if you're Garrett Tmiersma.
Tmiersma, he knows this track. He is successful at this track. Autumn Colors has taught that to anybody who's ever been to an Autumn Colors.
If nothing else, Garrett has to feel confident. 1 to go, we'll let them loose, but he has to feel confident. Sean Chenoweth is not going to crash him. He's going to race hard because Sean Chenoweth wants to win, but I don't think you have to be concerned about being taken out. Lane Zardo right on the back bumper of the 17. These two are each other's arch nemesis.
Yeah, I am watching Lane Zardo on this restart.
You can't do much from fourth. Like you're at the mercy of the guy inside you and in front of you.
Yeah, watch.
Chenoweth up the racetrack through 3 and 4. He'll run down the hill to the restart. Garrett Tmiersma with a good start, trying to get to the inside, right across the nose of Jason Parker.
And Jason Parker gave him a shot back and probably had every right to do that as Tmiersma hung a left without signaling down into 1.
They drive it down into 3 and 4 aggressively. Tmiersma and Lane Zardo side by side, door to door. Sean Chenoweth is running right around the bottom of the racetrack as defensively as you can drive a stock car on an oval.
You can beat him, but you're going to have to go to the outside to do it. Parker is there. Zardo still side by side for 30. He's now bypassed Tmiersma as the white flag flies. Now Nagy back in the picture. He's looking in that battle for fourth with Tmiersma.
Oh, contact coming off of turn number 2 between Nagy and Zardo. Yeah, Tmiersma up on the wall. He goes across the track in 3 and 4.
Billy Jacobs up in the wall. There's all kinds of carnage behind. The caution comes out.
And that could have been the moment that ruined Garrett Tmiersma's season.
No, he's limping away.
Damage, heavy damage on the front of the number 1 as he's going to go back in the pits, it looks like. The Dart Heating and Air Conditioning safety crew out very quickly.
If you go back to that last restart, Clinton Jeffries on the scene. Clinton called the action as Garrett Tmiersma rolls into your position.
Well, the crew bringing him in here. Obviously all kinds of damage on the body. The 17 car, the right side is tore up dramatically. And you can see, guys, this is probably going to be the end of the day for Garrett. They're very frustrated, taking the wheel off, as you can imagine. Trevor Culver driving by us as well.
Well, I believe this race is over. The officials are talking things over up here, but they took the white flag. The leader was in 3 and 4.
It was the last lap.
So we will see. It's not something I've encountered before here with this series, so we don't want to jump the gun.
They threw the yellow, not the checker. That's all that's my observation. They threw yellow, not a checker.
Officials, and I commend them, officials are reading the rule book as we speak. Because the verbiage is there. That is how it is. But you can do, here's what I think, here's what I've seen. The rules are written for a reason in black and white. Call them up. They're working on the lineup as we speak, so repairs are being made. These teams are still operating as though there is racing yet to come. As soon as we have an official decision, we will let you know.
Let's wait to see if we got a replay of the incident on the backstretch. You see a frustrated Garrett Tmiersma circling that 17 Wayfreight Line X machine.
Spencer, do we have a look at what happened there on the... Nope. We do not have a look at what happened there on the back straight. It's okay. It's okay, Spencer. But he comes on to you haven't let anybody down. You're following the action. He takes his role very seriously.
Well, guys, we're here in the Tmiersma pit. As you can see, all kinds of damage here. They got this body. I asked Garrett, do you want to talk? He said, it's probably best I don't. And we'll respect that at this moment. Here comes back around. Maybe he does want to talk.
You know, Clint, here's what I would love to go back if we can to show that restart. Garrett assertively got himself down behind the leader, and I think the only thing that went wrong for him was making contact with Chenoweth. Because once he got into Chenoweth, and Chenoweth was locking the car down to run the bottom, then he got contact from behind.
I don't know if it was the contact with Chenoweth so much as it was running across the nose of Jason Parker when he wasn't clear. And Jason Parker out of turn 2 used him up.
I got him here, guys.
Oh, there you go.
Garrett, obviously huge frustration here. What happened?
Well, we ran a great race. We were probably the second quickest car other than Sean Chenoweth. I thought we could run a clean outside run, but I'm pretty sure all 3 cars tried to door slam me, trying to get under me because they knew that was the only way they would pass us. I don't know, I thought they were smarter than that. I thought they were better than that, but it is what it is. It's going to be a hard hole to dig out of after this crash. There's a lot of cars lapped down, so we might not lose too many points. I got to thank all my sponsors, thank all the series for putting this on, but it's just disappointing when the talent out there does that because they feel they have to run you into the wall because they can't pass you.
Thanks for your time, Garrett. Obviously, Garrett's obviously frustrated, guys. We appreciate him talking to us.
So here's why I think the contact with Chenoweth was the problem, because Garrett could have driven away from Parker. Like, he got in there into the corner, but then Chenoweth was there, so he couldn't get away. And you're right, Parker just ate him up because it was his right to do so, because Garrett had closed the door. And then once he got up to the outside of Parker, you're not going forward on the outside, you're going backwards. Momentum was in the wrong place for him. So a tough series of events.
One of our other championship contenders, he's going to have his work cut out for him. Looks like they've got the one fired up again. Trevor Culver out of Lucan.
Yeah, Culver's got issues here. Obviously, you can see the front end punched in. He is not getting out of the car. Looks like they're going to send him back out here. And the front end is all punched out on that car.
Well, there's 10 cars on the lead lap, and Trevor Culver is one of them. So the scoring monitor right now shows 49 laps complete. So Trevor Culver still has a top 10. Remember, last year we came to Peterborough, and I believe he finished 31st or something crazy like that. One to go. We've got this will not, is this a green-white checkered, Alex, or is it a green and white? First attempt at a green-white checker, so this will be a two-lap race.
Now this is where Tamir's, again, I would put my scorer's hat on for a sec. I think this is what dupes him in, is now you're adding adding laps to the race.
Yeah, so he could be in the top 10 if you were able to limp the car around, but now he's going to fall back, and we'll give you that full field rundown. But let's get through this one. Jason Parker up on the outside in the 8. Sean Chenoweth down low in the 89. Green-white checker to settle a score here at Peterborough.
Still got the 36 of Lane Zardo in the mix as well, and Parker's going to try the outside on Chenoweth. Off turn 2, they rumble, and the 36 in the mix as well. How about this on the outside?
Jason Parker with a big run on the high side. Chenoweth keeping himself to the bottom. White flag is out. Jason Parker with the lead.
Yes.
Oh my.
Jason Parker's never been to Quick Wick Super Stock Victory Lane. He's looking to do it right now, getting it down on the outside. Zardo took a peek to the inside of Chenoweth for second, but it's going to be the Mowbray Canadian Tire Virtue Farms number 8 of Jason Parker.
Holy moly, who saw that coming?
No chance on the outside, right?
And that...
he got it done.
What did I say?
He got it done.
I say?
We will have to hear from Sean Chenoweth, see what the story is from the 89C, but right now, Jason Parker, after 51 laps, takes the checkered flag over Sean Chenoweth. Lane Zardo 3rd, Carson Nagy 4th by just 1/100th of a second over Pete Vanderwees, who finishes 5th. Remember, this is the scored finish. This is not official. Brandon McFerrin finishes 6th after starting all the way at the back. Nick Ramsey 7th in the 07. Trevor Culver finishes 8th in the 1. Rick Verburn 9th in the 88. And rounding out the top 10 is Brandon Feeney in the 38. Corey McAllister finishes 11th in the 71. Ryan Dyson 12th in the 28. Marty Owen 13th in the 21. Garrett Teemersma 14th in the 17. Then it's Bailey Jacobs, Justin Collison, Roy Wilkie, Chad Corcoran, Nick Troback, and Randy Rustle rounding out the field as we send it down to the Dart Heating and Air Conditioning Victory Lane, where Clinton Jeffrey is on the scene, which with what I expect might be a fairly surprised and happy Jason Parker.
Well, the window net comes down, guys. They'll work to get him out here as Parker gets ready to come out and talk to us. His first ever Quick Wick Super Stock feature win here in this series. And you can bet he's going to be happy. Crew coming in here to congratulate him as he gets the helmet off.
We'll want to know, Clinton, when his last trip to Victory Lane was in anything.
We can get that for you. Well, he gets the steering wheel off. He's got the helmet off. We'll get him out here in just a second. You can bet he's going to be happy to come out and talk to us here. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. How about a big Peterborough Speedway welcome for your Quick Wick Superstock 50-lap feature winner night, Jason Parker. Jason, let's talk about the day. Adam wanted to know, first off, when was your last win?
Oh, it was a couple years ago. Well, I guess last year at Sauble, Dash for Cash, we won. But in the series, it's been a few years, so this is great. We had a tough week, worked hard, and here we are.
That last caution obviously paid into your hands. You were riding around a solidly second-place car. You and Chenoweth were driving away. Tell us about those last couple laps.
Well, I won't lie to you. Restarting here second at Peterborough was real tough. So when that caution came out, as we were crossing the start-finish line, that was tough for us. But through communication with Zardo's crew and Sean Chenoweth being a clean driver that he was there, we managed to come from the outside and win it. So a lot of respect to those guys just for running clean at the end, because that's not typical here.
Congratulations, Jason.
Thank you very much.
Jason Parker gets it done. We'll move over here and talk to second place Sean Chenoweth as Sean gets out of the car here.
And again, I'm curious there. He's right. Sean Chenoweth was so polite, Clinton, it almost looked like something might be amiss with his race car on those last couple of laps. He pinched that car right down to the bottom.
Well, Sean, obviously not the finish you wanted. You were the dominant car all the way. That last yellow cost you this finish. You know, you have to be hugely disappointed because this is not the interview you wanted to be given about 5 minutes ago.
No, the last two restarts I had the carburetor bogging up and it wouldn't get going for about 4 laps. And then I don't care what anybody here says. I took the checkered flag. So I don't know how they score these deals, but that's a goddamn joke.
Here, Sean Chenoweth, they're going to dispute the finish of this one. Lane Zardo, not quite the show you normally are today, riding mid-pack, but you come out with a third-place finish. That's a great points day for this 36 car.
Yeah, man, this Badger Daylight and Chicks Mechanical Leslie Ford Mustang. And, we were really hooked up in qualifying, and it's just in racing trim. I don't know if it's because I had the 7 sweating on my back, and we had some hard racing there, and I think we used every corner on this race car today, but I believe every other car did. And you know what, I do feel for Chenoweth. He really did win that race. We did take that checkered flag, but also got to give it to Parker, man. His spotter was talking to my spotter and just asked if I could have just given him room on that restart, made sure we didn't run into each other, and maybe I should have ran into him, I don't know. But we came out of Peterborough third with very minimal damage, which is a lot better than a lot of other people can say, and we're going to Delaware with a straight race car, and we'll be fast there.
Thanks, Lane. That'll do it for your top three. Lane Zardo, Sean Chenoweth, and Jason Parker from Quick Superstock Victor Lane. We'll be right back live here on G-Force TV from Peterborough Speedway.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Welcome back to Peterborough Speedway. We've been talking with officials here with the series, and there is new verbiage in the rules for 2022. And there is a handout given to all teams when they show up to the racetrack. I'm going to read number 17. If we go yellow or red after the leader takes the white flag, we will finish with a green-white checkered, with a maximum of 2 attempts. On the second attempt at the green-white checkered, once the field receives the green flag and crosses the start-finish line, the race will be complete if the yellow is displayed. Those remaining must slow down and proceed with caution. If the second attempt fails, you will be scored by the starting order of the second green-white checkered attempt minus any involved cars. So Sean Chenoweth, to his knowledge, to his experience in asphalt racing, he would have been the winner for the last 55 years here at Westgate Speedway. But because of this handout, what I like to they've gone to basically a dirt racing format. On dirt, they don't have the next flag after white ends the race. If you go yellow at any time before the leader crosses the checkered, you rerun the race. And from where we were standing looking down, Sean Gibbs, the flagman, never did get the checkered flag thrown. He was fumbling looking for the yellow flag, but the checkered never flew. The accident in turn 3 on the last lap was with cars in the top 5. So good job to the officials reading the rules and understanding that things were a little different than they've been in the past. So even a disappointed Sean Chenoweth has to believe once you read these rules that the officials had that right.
There's no gray area there. It's black and white. Yeah. And again, as we saw, the checker flag never came out. It was the caution that came out first. But a thrilling quick Superstock race again, Adam. 100 laps of Superstock racing this year, 2 cautions.
Pretty impressive. I had a feeling something was wrong with Chenoweth. The way he was pinching the bottom of the track. So what he was doing was getting out of the way. If anyone was going to pass him on the outside, they were free to do it. But, yeah, that engine was not running right for Sean Chenoweth.
You said 2 cautions out of 100 laps. They both happened here at Peterborough Speedway.
Yeah, in the last 5 laps.
So we leave Peterborough Speedway with the Superstock Series with some hurt feelings, some hurt race cars, and a great storyline to go into with the rest of our year.
That's pretty much every weekend here.
That is the Peterborough Speedway playbook.
Race number 3, of course, for the Quick Series will be coming up. It's Friday, July 1st, Delaware Speedway. I know it's a Friday night of July weekend. I believe it's the first is the Friday night. The Quick Series will be in action in the late models on Saturday night. Also, Oscar Hot Rods, Oscar Modifieds, Oscar Super Lates on the card. So if you don't have plans for a July 1st weekend, and I think you can run right from there to Merrittville on the Monday, right?
I don't know that Merrittville runs that Monday, but I know we are at Humberstone Thursday. We're at Ashweekan Friday. Great show at Delaware Friday. Saturday we'll roll down to Delaware. There's just so much race. We've got a lot of multi-race weekends this season, and it's great for the fans. I am so pleased that everywhere we have gone, Jamie, there's been great crowds. And we saw this through the pandemic. As the pandemic ended, you could see the fans were itching to get back to the racetrack. And don't think it goes unnoticed that gas is expensive and times are very challenging for some people, but we still need our release. We still need to come and see our racing family. So thank you so much to those who've chosen to come out to the racetrack and spend a Saturday evening with your friends and family at Peterborough Speedway. Upcoming events on GeForce TV, June 30th, as we said, we will be at Humberstone Speedway for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Cars, plus the 358 Dirt Modifieds. July 2nd, we will be at Delaware Speedway for the Spectra Premium 100 for the APC Series. July 16th, we'll be at Flamborough Speedway for their event, the APC Series. And, of course, every Friday night you can catch Ashweekan Speedway live Friday night excitement on GeForce TV.
We were talking about age of tracks, and of course the text blew up from all my homies at Delaware. So yes, Delaware Speedway operating, well, it's been in action for 70 years, less 1 year during the pandemic. So probably the oldest track. Now that was dirt when they first started there, though, back in the day.
A lot of them were, right?
Martinsville was dirt back in the day.
They hadn't invented asphalt yet. That's right.
Well, wait a minute. Let's ask Dave Franks. That's probably
Dave Franks he probably looked the same. He's driving the same golf cart as he did back then 7 years ago.
I saw him with a checkered flag picture of a dinosaur race.
Oh, come on now.
Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble finished first and second.
It was close.
You guys are being hard on poor Dave Franks. He is an icon, the legend. Oh, that was fun. I hope our late model race has a similar amount of excitement, and those drivers showed a lot of respect. Even in that green, those 2 yellow flags at the end, I've seen much uglier. I mean, that's just a bunch of drivers trying.
I've seen someone in a Superstock go through, not over, but through that turn 3 wall. On purpose.
That'll leave a mark.
He was helped.
Take a guy like Pete Vanderwist, for example. I mean, Pete has a reputation for being a little rough on the racetrack. I talked to Carson Nagy. He did battle with Pete for quite some time at Flamborough Speedway. I said, so what do you think about racing with Pete? He said, it was great. So we door slammed each other a bit. Nobody got out of shape. And again, that's what we saw a lot of tonight was, some bumps and bruises, but nobody really getting out of shape. Obviously, Garrett Tamirsma would disagree at this point, but good to see a solid race here tonight with nobody getting too bent up and out of shape.
The current generation of race car driver can't improve unless they learn the tricks of the trade from the previous generation of race car driver, right? It takes that combination of things to put the sport into perspective and understand what's okay and what's not, and get your feathers ruffled now and then.
And again, when you were doing the media day questions, that was one of the questions you had, which I'm sure we'll see later on, is at what age are you at your peak performance as a driver?
Yeah, that was an interesting one. Spencer.
And I think J.R. Fitzpatrick answer was the best. He said 35. And how old are you now? 35.
Yep. He's no dummy. Spencer, let's do a quick fire it up for this race. Let's send it over to Charlie Toner to give the lineup. And Charlie, for a few races every night, we do a quick fire it up where the announcers actually shut up for 2 or 3 laps and we listen to the cars. It's kind of cool.
I do that all the time just because I run out of things to say.
Fair enough.
that never happened, Charlie. Never happened.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Saying. It's a great plan.
All right,
starting grid.
Starting off at the back of the pack in the number 57, driving his dad's car because he kind of had a little bit of an issue with his car back in turn number 4. Connor Parks in the Cabell Racing Denise Parks sponsored ride. On the inside of the 22X of Tyler Croft. The Comic Alley Toys sponsored number 89 with a brand new paint job is Victoria McLennan. And on her inside in the 09 is Corey Horn. Kyle Johnson in the 02. And Christian Laval is in the 06 in row number 6. Row number 5 has got Brad Laval on the outside in the 6 car, and on his inside is the 48X of Chris Kahn. Tegan Stanley is in row number 4 on the outside in the number 23. On his inside, making his return to Peterborough Speedway, is the 58 of Mark Griffin. The 45 is Kyle Novus. He was very quick during qualifying, and he got a chance to get up into the top 5 during his qualifying run. Keep an eye out for Kyle Novus. Jacob Kelly in the 8 on the inside of row number 3. In row number 2 is the 12 of John Bates, and on his inside, picking up a heat win tonight, is the 21 of Angelo Novus. And on the front row, the number 9 of Sean Kennedy, who is no stranger to the Dart Heating and Air Conditioning victory lane in seasons past, but has yet to see a victory there so far this season. But the guy on the inside pole has seen victory lane a couple of times already this season. Give it up for the number 26 of Steve Finnegan.
How many laps are we going in this feature?
20-lap feature race for both of our classes tonight, so it'll be a 20-lap feature race for the Battlefield Equipment Bone Stocks.
Awesome.
So they might have a bit of a shortened run for the trucks, but we're waiting to see what trucks are able to make it out for the race right after this one. But special thanks to KOD Disposal, Bins and Maintenance Care for sponsoring tonight. They have come out and have tripled the purse for the Battlefield Equipment Bone Stocks tonight. Going to be a great night. No wonder so many cars have come out to play here at Peterborough Speedway. Lights are out on the Pepsi Peterborough Speedway pace truck. Is it going to dip down to the infield? Green, Great Canadian RV, green flag. Finnegan and Kennedy, Novus. And the 12 of John Bates. Battling it out. Jacob Kelly moving up on the inside of Bates. Nose to tail, it is Steve Finnegan and Sean Kennedy. Sean Kennedy is looking for a feature win tonight. He is going to be all over the back bumper of Steve Finnegan. Steve Finnegan picking up at least one feature win so far this season.
I'm watching Angelo Novus / Austin Powers in the 21.
Oh, behave.
Go Cooper. Groovy, baby.
He just wants the purse to be $1 million.
How lame are we?
I want to see him spin out and do the 21-point turn.
I want to see him go to victory lane and go, yeah, baby.
Pull a hairless cat out of his car with him.
Then have 45 come up behind him, mini-me. Kyle Novus. Finnegan putting some distance out in front of him and Sean Kennedy. Then it's a battle for third. Novus is getting a lot of challenge from Griffin and the 8 of Jake Kelly. Griffin down on the inside of Kelly as they go down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Those shadows getting very long down the backstretch. Griffin making the pass. That's a battle for fourth, putting Jacob in fifth. And then it's Chris Kahn knocking on the back door. Steve Finnegan holding his own out in front. Starting to catch up to some lapped cars. That'll be Corey Horn. That'll be the first car he comes up against, putting him a lap down. Sean Kennedy a long ways back behind Finnegan. Finnegan into the groove. Finnegan making his way around lap traffic. That'll be the 09 of Corey Horn going down. A lap. Along with Tyler Croft and Kyle Johnson. Halfway through, Steve Finnegan. Time for me to shut up and let the cars sing.
Things do get crowded out there from time to time, Charlie.
Well, I was just looking at Kyle Novus, who went from being in third back to about sixth. Some absolute amazing drone footage of the battles further back. But with 5 laps to go next time by, Steve Finnegan, Sean Kennedy, Mark Griffin, Jacob Kelly, Chris Kahn, the top 5. Then Angelo Novus, Kyle Novus, Brad Laval, and Tegan Stanley and John Bates, your top 10. So the 26 of Steve Finnegan. with a powerful lead, a long ways back, almost 2 seconds ahead of Sean Kennedy in second place. Then it's 7 seconds back to Mark Griffin, Jacob Kelly, Chris Kahn, Kyle Novus. Popsicle sticks are up, 2 laps to go this time by for Steve Finnegan. There's the popsicle sticks. Then it's Sean Kennedy. Mark Griffin, Jacob Kelly, and Chris Kahn, your top 5. White flag in the air this time by for Steve Finnegan. This is the money lap, literally, thanks to KOD Disposal. Money lap for Steve Finnegan. Checkered flag is in the air. Steve Finnegan is going back to the dirt heating and air conditioning victory lane. No question on his win this time. So Steve Finnegan, then almost 3 seconds back to Sean Kennedy, then Jacob Kelly, Mark Griffin, Chris Kahn, Kyle Novus, Angelo Novus, Brad Laval, John Bates, and Tegan Stanley. Those are your top 10 cars still on the lead lap. Then it goes to Christian Laval, Victoria McLennan, Kyle Johnson, Corey Horn, and Tyler Croft, rounding off the field of 15 cars. Someone still has a horn in their stock car. Kyle Novus beeping the horn as he goes by the winner, Steve Finnegan. Finnegan is going to do a victory lap. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. The Battlefield Equipment Bone Stocks most winning driver of this season so far. That just means more penalty weight.
But usually they'll take it.
Oh yeah,
keep adding it on. I'm going to keep on winning.
Yeah, and he's fast. He's going to bring it down to the Dart Heating and Air Conditioning victory lane, and I believe Doug Hanchard's going to be down there with the mic, who's normally my co-announcer up here in the booth, but he's going to do the interview again now with Steve Finnegan. Doug Hanchard, no slouch of a racer himself, actually. Going to be coming back racing in his late model in the very near future.
That's awesome.
Next month, I heard.
Getting congratulations from the most important fans.
Give it up, folks, for Steve Finnegan! Steve, this is getting to be a bit of a habit for you, buddy. You've really been taking off well this year. Obviously, you had a great start on the race.
Oh, yeah, I just got lucky. Rolled the 2, so it put me on the pole, and just didn't look back after that. I wanted to park it in the new victory lane, and here I am.
You know, obviously, it's not just you. You had a whole pile of people helping you. How'd you like to think to get here?
I want to thank a lot of people. My mom, my dad, my wife, Silver Racing Queens, my boys, Farnborough Racing, Ryan Oosterholt, Tyler Betts, all the boys, Ballard Automotive, all the just, you know, taking me under their wing, and here I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opponent stock race tonight, Steve Finnegan!
Let's take a quick break here on G-Force TV, and when we come back, it'll be time for another feature event.
Renegade Trucks coming up.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedway. Get geared up.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Welcome back to Peterborough Speedway. It's been a fun night so far, Charlie. Adam Ross,
we're
Jamie
just kind of
Mosley,
getting in.
Charlie Toner.
We're into the groove here right now. I mean, we've got the big guns coming up after this feature race, but these trucks are pretty big little guns of all on their own. They're fun to watch, and we've already seen quite the attrition come out of the trucks. We're down to 9 trucks.
You can only hit a concrete wall so hard with a race truck before it becomes unusable.
Well, yeah. Then we start calling them cement trucks.
That's fairly witty.
All right, now it's time for the Complete Plumbing's Renegade trucks at Peterborough Speedway. Starting off at the back of the pack, I believe that's the 27 of Ethan Thompson. The 31 of Terry Hubbard back there as well. So the 66 of Jordan DeRoche is the Hot Wheels truck. Repairs to the 52 have been made, so Kyle Gordon is back on the track. And the fun story of the night, the truck that caught fire when the battery post connected, the 6 of Bill O'Hara and the O'Hara excavating truck. Get this, the battery is what caught fire. They had to pull the battery out. He took the battery out of his truck hauler to put in the truck to come out and race. Now, Bill O'Hara.
Now, to be clear, did he take it out of his own hauler?
Yes. Yeah.
Or someone's hauler?
Well, he took it out of somebody's hauler. We're assuming it's his own hauler. But if your hauler doesn't start when you want to leave the track, just go see Bill. He probably has a spare battery.
So, Adam, you'll know this name. Kevin Trevelyan. He's not a low-budget racer. He's a no-budget racer. Delaware Speedway last night, somebody's looking for extra parts. He says, I got a spare tire. That's what I got. True story. Kevin Trevelyan on his way to a Cascar Super Series race in Calgary. Motor to the hauler blows up. They take the motor out of the race car, put it in the hauler to get the hauler in the car to the track.
I have heard that story before.
That's Kevin Trevelyan.
Wow. Second row on the outside, we saw how fast she was during qualifying is Stacy Switzer in the Switzer Excavating sponsored truck. On the inside in the Boundary Roofing 08 is Paul Boundy in the Superman truck. Now for the front row, Sean Murray on the outside and Stephen Beerworth on the inside. Daddy Beerworth, bring him to a green flag. Let's go. Our flaggers, Dave Sikma, up on the stand, sends out a big hi to his family. 3 wide going into 3 and 4. To Jen and the kids back home watching from home on GeForce TV. What an awesome move by Paul Boundy, getting out in front as they went 3 wide the last time by. Paul Boundy starting in third, now in first. Then is Stephen Beerworth, Stacy Switzer, his daughter. Then the 55 of Sean Murray. and the 52 of Kyle Gordon. Those are your top 5 trucks. 20 laps the distance. Switzer down on the inside of Dad. Dad shuts the door. Battle for second as a 4-way battle. Beerworth holding off his daughter, Stacy Switzer. Kyle Gordon up into 4th around Sean Murray. Paul Boundy running a 16.5 second lap. Stephen Beerworth a 16.8. Stacy Switzer a 16.9. Kyle Gordon actually the fastest out of the 2nd to 4th with a 16.7. Boundy getting faster each lap. Beerworth is way off the pace. Falls back into 2nd. Kyle Gordon looking down on the inside. That's for 3rd. Stephen Beerworth is 2 seconds slower than he was before. He's really falling off the pace. Already back to 5th spot. Meanwhile, out in front, Superman is stretching, flexing his muscles. Flying down the backstretch into turn 3 and 4. Paul Boundy, then Stacy Switzer, Kyle Gordon, Sean Murray, and Stephen Beerworth.
He needs to put a cape on that truck.
Yeah, I agree. He needs a cape.
All I can think of is the Monster Mutt monster truck with the big ears, eh?
Okay, so he needs a cape on his. The Hot Wheels, I don't know what you'd put on that. Maybe some orange tires.
Or a wind-up on the back.
The little wind-up on the back.
We had a guy last night at Delaware with the big bat signal on the hood.
We do have Mike Feeney, who crashed during practice. He's got a Pikachu, sitting in the passenger seat. Oh, trouble with Switzer down the infield grass.
Kept her going though.
Keeps it going and back up to speed, just outside the top 5.
Just need to cool the tires down. Grass is a lot cooler than the pavement.
See a couple cars handle pretty well through the grass here tonight.
Hey, trucks were meant for going off-road, weren't they?
Here.
8 laps to go. Paul Boundy. Kyle Gordon starting to reel him in. Looking at the times here, Kyle Gordon posting a 15.9. He's actually the fastest truck out there, 0.4 of a second faster than the leader, Paul Boundy.
And a good job by that 52 crew to get that truck back together. We were talking about the fellow with the battery on fire. That 52 truck was on the business end of the hook after stuffing in the wall in turn 4.
And here he is turning the fastest lap, 15.94, still 0.4 faster than Paul Boundy. Jordan DeRoche very loose coming out of turn number 2. Stacy Switzer getting back a position as she goes by her dad, Stephen Beerworth. She's now back up into the top 5. Running 4th place, actually. Paul Boundy is starting to, with 5 laps to go, has got a contender. Kyle Gordon stuffed it in the wall during qualifying. Last time out, rebuilt the front right side of that truck in a record amount of time, is now challenging the leader. Kyle Gordon, 4 laps to go. And we see Terry Hubbard and Bill O'Hara battling it out for 6th spot. Kyle Gordon all having a tailgate party with Paul Boundy up in the front. Then it's Sean Murray, Stacy Switzer, and Stephen Beerworth. 2 laps to go. The popsicle sticks are up. Kyle Gordon looking on the outside of Paul Boundy. Into 3 and 4. Gordon staying high, tucks in behind Boundy, or Boundy comes up. White flag. It's go or go home. Looking down on the inside, coming out of 2. Down the backstretch for the last final time. Checkered flag in the air. It is going to be Paul Boundy, Kyle Gordon, Sean Murray challenged by Stacy Switzer right down to the line. Then the 66 of Jordan DeRoche and Stephen Beerworth. So doing a victory lap, Paul Boundy in the Boundy Roofing Superman truck. Picking up a win at Canada's toughest 3rd mile oval for the Trent Lakes Complete Plumbing Renegade trucks on this KOD Disposal sponsored night. He's getting a drone escort.
Yeah, all the way around.
Paul Boundy.
That's a long way to hold that.
I see a tire mark on the back quarter panel of that truck. You know they were racing pretty hard out there. But the Boundy Racing crew running down to give big hugs and high fives to Paul Boundy with a victory at Canada's toughest 3rd mile oval. Let's go down to Doug Hanchard.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get ready to make a lot of noise for the Superman truck of Paul Boundy. Wow. You've had some challenges with this truck, but you've managed to always come back and tinker with it, and now it's a hot rod.
Oh yeah, it's getting faster every week. We could just keep trying our hardest and keep working out. Technique is everything. Thanks. Thank you very much.
So obviously it's not just you getting here. A lot of people helped you. Who'd you like to thank?
Yeah, my wife, my father, my daughter, my crew. Sorry, gonna eat the mic. All my sponsors, Midas of Coburg, Circa 1818, Mark Rainford Auto Sale, Coburg East Campground, Elma Mechanical. All the list goes on and on. We're gonna have a great year. It's gonna be fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, give it up to Paul Boundy.
And as the celebration goes on down there in Victory Lane, you can see the teams getting ready down on pit lane. We'll take another quick break, and when we come back on GeForce TV, you will probably see a full field of APC stock cars lined up on the front straightaway for tonight's AP Emissions Technologies 100.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
Welcome back to Peterborough Speedway. APC Racing on GeForce TV. Thanks so much to the fans here in the grandstands. A beautiful day here in Peterborough, Ontario. And you can see the cars are heading down pit lane to line up for the feature event. We're going to bring all 23 of them down to the front straightaway, line them up in the order they're going to start the race in, shut them down, and then we're going to introduce you to the starting lineup for the AP Emission Technologies 100. Charlie?
Well, I was just looking down in the infield where we have our tow trucks as part of the Dart Heating and Air Conditioning rescue and safety crew, and I see they have both hoods up on both of our tow trucks. I think they're just checking to make sure Bill O'Hara didn't borrow a battery from somebody else. Like us.
They're taking inventory. Oh, that'd be priceless. So while we have the opportunity, let's take a moment to thank some of the great partners at Peterborough Speedway that have helped make this event so fantastic. How about KOD?
Oh, KOD Disposal. I mean, first of all, there's something you need to know about KOD Disposal when it comes to what happened here on opening night, or our planned opening night, when literally a tornado came through and tore the track apart. We lost sections of the roof here on the grandstand tower. We lost an entire window in the pits tower. We lost over 1,000 feet of fencing. It was completely destroyed and way out in the field. There were our sausage huts were flipped over and way back up against what little was left of the fence. And it was an entire week, 7 full days, where KOD and their crews volunteered their time, 18 to 20 hours a day for 7 days. There was no electricity until Friday night before the next Saturday's racing, and they got the track amazingly put back together. I can't say enough about KOD. I can't say enough about all the volunteers and people. And if you want quality service in the Kawarthas or Kawartha Lakes and Peterborough area, go say hi to these guys.
The racing family is a great one. So let's also mention Kenny Upol, Tech Lane.
Yeah, they just opened up a new Kenny Upol, which is all over Canada, but they just opened up here in Peterborough this season. I know I get the email flyers all the time. I own a Jeep. Come on, I need parts.
Yeah, there you go. So when we came in, it was the funniest thing, because JP, the track owner, said, we've got some partners. Can you work with us? Well, yeah, that's what keeps
kind of
the
the
sport
idea.
alive. We've got some great advertisers with GeForce TV, but the whole idea behind what we do is not to take anything away from the racing community. It's to support it. It's to give another outlet for these teams to showcase what it is they do, and for these tracks to showcase as well.
A number of years ago, one of the big companies that came along and started sponsoring not just our pit lane or our winner's circle, but also our cleanup and safety crew. A number of racers you'll see with Dart Heating and Air Conditioning on the side of or on the back of their trucks or cars. A big sponsor, Dart Heating and Air Conditioning. Can't say enough about them. They've always been part of the track here for a number of years. I'm looking back at before it was the Dart Heating and Air Conditioning Victory Lane, and I got to go back more than a decade. I mean, I don't remember when it wasn't that.
I've been doing interviews here once a year in Dart Heating and Cooling Victory Lane for years now.
So some great partners, and JP and his team here at the racetrack, they do a great job with the people that they work with. It's a pretty strong facility up here.
And it's been here a long time, 55 years back, goes back to the days of Westgate. There's actually a mural right beside your van that has a mural. It's kind of a time lapse of yesteryear, 55 years ago, and you see these old 57 Chevys and like the old the old gassers
Yep.
The old gasser cars. That's what was racing back here 55 years. The jalopies.
Yep.
And dirt, and it was just, a crazy time, and you can see how it's all progressed. And one of the biggest races in Canada is here every year, the Autumn Colors Classic. And when it comes to what we just watched here a little while ago with the Superstocks, that has the greatest history here. I mean, there's the crown. The crown that has literally passed from last year's winner to the next, all part of the ACC.
Make no mistake, Autumn Colors is where you go to extract revenge. Autumn Colors is where every rivalry from that season.
It's the last race of the season.
That's right. That's where it comes to a head. That's where if you're going to take a shot,
you come for the fights, and eventually some stock car racing will break out.
Well, there's the other side of the coin, too, is that if you're an Autumn Colors champion,
that's the Super Bowl all
winter. Yeah, that's anywhere you go, you're announced as an Autumn Colors champion.
The famous Jason Hathaway line. You're going to win one race in the year, win the last one because your picture's on the website all winter. and speaking of how old this track is, so I didn't know the previous name until earlier on today. So I got a buddy of mine that I race with. I've never actually met him before, but I've been giving him the gear since last winter, saying, I'm going to be at Peterborough this night. You got to come to the track. I knew he was close by. So Sean Crooks is here tonight, buddy of mine that I race with. He said the last time he was here, it was Westgate Speedway, which was in the 80s. So it's been a long time since he's been here. Hope he's enjoying the night here tonight at Peterborough.
Yeah, I don't know what you could not enjoy about this. Does that make this an internet hookup for you? For those of you scoring at home, like is that whatever it takes. That
was not on my bingo card.
So last week, to tell another iRacing story, we're all on the chat, on the Discord, and we're iRacing in our league race, and one of the guys' wives, you can hear him in the background. Oh, you're online playing video games with your little friends, are you? And it's never with your friends. It's always your little friends, right? And I made that comment, and sure enough, like 5 guys, yeah, little friends. It's always little friends.
It's not a video game. It's a simulation.
They need Peterborough on the game is what they need.
That would add some character.
Jeez. I'm trying to think how they would film that. They wouldn't be using a drone because you'd be shaking all the way around turn 1.
I don't know. Would it be like Lanier online? Maybe I'm not sure.
So as we're about to do driver introductions, the field is almost set. Let's send it down to Clinton Jeffrey for our nightly ones to watch feature.
Thanks, guys. We've got a few drivers here we want to watch today, and Andrew Gressel's on that list, along with J.R. Fitzpatrick, Sean Chenoweth, and, of course, Ryan Kibble. We got 2 of them right here, but let's talk to Andrew Gressel. Andrew, how do you feel about Peterborough here? You had a good run at Flamborough. Can you make it work today?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy coming here. I like this racetrack. We got quite a few laps here in the past, but we were fighting the car quite a bit in practice today. I think we got it where we want to be, but it's going to be a long race. It's going to be tough sledding here today for sure.
There you have it. There's your Fast Eddie ones to watch. 4 of the drivers we're going to keep our eyes on today. Make sure you keep your eyes on them because they're going to be going to the front today.
Well, interesting commentary on what we just saw, and that's J.R. Fitzpatrick chatting with Andrew Gressel. In Victory Lane at Flamborough, J.R. was like, man, that was an awesome race. Even if I hadn't won that was an awesome race. Whereas Andrew Gressel's like, I kind of got used up there. Andrew wasn't quite as warm and fuzzy on it, but it looks like they've settled their differences because they're chatting on the front straightaway about things.
Yeah, but it's before the race.
Well, guys, I'll jump in here. Hey, what's going on, guys? They want to know what you're talking about because all right, so your action at Flamborough, JR, you had an action-packed day today. You guys making plans for dinner tomorrow?
Yeah, I was actually telling them that we each owe each other a wrap for the side of our cars, but I think we were more so discussing that we're going to have a good race here like we did at Flamborough. That was just old school, good, hard beating and banging, and here's going to be interesting. I don't really know what to expect. Starting back here is obviously good if you're high up in points, but there's some quick cars in front of us and quick cars behind us. It's going to be one hell of a show.
We'll watch for him. He was the Flamborough winner, guys. J.R. Fitzpatrick going to try and get it done here today at Peterborough.
Let's meet the starting lineup for tonight's race. Starting 23rd from Dundas, the SDR seating, Stage It With Style, Nick's Journey Chevrolet, number 74, Eric Della Riva. Starting 22nd from Hillsburg, the BW Towing, McMaster GMC Orangeville, BBTS Markdale, number 8, Jordan House. Starting 21st from Fraserville, in the number 79, Custom Forming Walls, Bondsma Brother Concrete 79, it's James Horner. Starting 20th from Coldwater, the CM Precision Machining and Welding, number 31, Jade Franklin. To his inside from Stainer, it's the bully, the B&B Towing Nisco National Leasing, number 48, Dwayne Baker. On the outside of row number 9, it's the Paragon Auto Trim of Barrie, number 10S from Oro, Gord Shepard. To his inside, also into number 10, from Southampton, the Graham Family Auto Carquest Gingrich Service Center, Tom Gibbons Concrete Finishing, number 10, Tom Gibbons. Starting 16th from Plattsville, the London Recreational Racing, Mannheim Apex Oil, Caldecott Millwright Services, number 89C, Sean Chenoweth. And on the inside of row number 8, from Guelph, the Spira Fire Protection High-Grade Steel Roofing Systems, number 86, Billy Schwarzenberg. Starting 14th out of Cambridge, the JP Powder Coating Vincent Lawn Equipment, number 97, Blair Wickett. Starting 13th from London, the Global Warranty ToyotaTown.com Toyota, number 21, Matt Pritico. To the outside of row 6 from Dorchester, the APC Auto Parts Centers, Canusa Automotive Warehousing, Miami Muscle Ford, number 3, Shay Gemmel. Starting 11th from Aurelia, the SSG Gloves, Airedale Carriers Holdaway Motorsports Toyota, number 4, Connor James. Now, race fans, your top 10, starting on the outside of row number 5 from Chesley, the Ridgeline, Canadian Flat Roof Systems, APC Bruce Service Toyota, number 17, Josh Stoddy. Starting 9th in the Tricorp Transportation Ace Services Academy Construction, number 32 from Grimsby, Drayton Lapsevich. Starting 8th in the Cambridge Rigging Transaxle H2Go Mobile Wash Chevrolet, number 84 from Cambridge, J.R. Fitzpatrick. Starting 7th from Sauble Beach, the Sauble Falls Tent and Trailer Park CUSW, Canadian Union of Skilled Workers, Stewart's Equipment Ford, number 81, Andrew Gressel. Starting 6th, the Quick Fire Starter AW Millwright, Stewart's Equipment Chevrolet, number 22 from Milverton, Kyle Steckley. Now your top 5, starting 5th from Orobidanti, the Caldecott Millwright Services Chevrolet, number 31W, Rick Spencer Walt. On the outside of row number 2, from Orno, the Mobile One, B&W Enterprises Chevrolet number 54, Danny Benedict. Starting third from Guelph, the NTN Bearings Wellington Systems Chevrolet number 83, Dale Shaw. And now, race fans, your front row. On the outside of row number 1, from Mount Bridges, the Pride Seeds, Vibrant Farms, Cameron Crane Ford, number 52, Jake Sheridan.
Jake, how do you feel here today? You got a good shot running from the outside. Can you make it happen?
Yeah, I think so. The outside's obviously tough here, but I mean, we haven't really been here in a few years to find out. So I think there's a piece that can take the lead on the top. I think it's ours. So we've come a long way in these last couple APC races. David White and Jimmy Ireland and the rest of my guys, my little brother and Nicky, we've all dug really hard in this thing, and we found some stuff out in the front end that's just working a lot better today. So I'm happy, I'm confident, and just thankful for everyone being here. And she's close to the pole today, but we'll settle for second. Doesn't make too much of a difference now, and see if we can get her done at the end of 100 laps.
Good luck, Jake.
And race fans, your pole sitter, he'll start first tonight from Norwood. The J. Beck's Construction, Crow's Gas and Car Wash Chevrolet number 29, Flying Ryan Kimball.
Well, Ryan, we talked to you pre-race. You know, you talked about how things were going to work out today. The crew's been working hard for you. What do you got?
I think I got a good piece. We unloaded. We were a little bit off. The guys worked really hard. GTA gave me a really good piece here. So can't say enough about my guys. Going to do our best to keep this 29 JBX Construction. We're going to try to bring this one home for Larry Crow Sr. So see what we got.
Thanks, Ryan. That's your pole sitter, guys, and your entire field.
That's quite a level of focus on Ryan Kimball there. He is all business. Going to climb behind the wheel of that number 29. You can see all the rest of the drivers have already climbed into the race car. Their crew chiefs helping them get buckled in. Jamie Monzi, let's talk about the 100 laps we're about to see. What do you expect to witness here?
Again, as we've said numerous times before, I expect to see some rub rails getting beat on these cars. I expect to see some guys going door handle to door handle. Probably some hurt feelings by the time we're said and done, but on the flip side, again, as much as I'm a Delaware faithful, if I had to pick one other track to go to in the province, this is the one. I love coming to Peterborough because you are guaranteed to see a good race every time you're here.
It's a destination, that's for sure, and it's a tough joint. And with this number of cars, 23 cars is a solid field of race cars. Charlie Toner.
That's actually that's our usual max level for an Autumn Colors, for example, 23 cars.
Yeah.
We will field 23 cars as a max because that's the number of pit stalls there are.
And we talked as well about how tough it is when you get caught on the outside here and you get freight trained, but then you go back to the Quick race, and we saw the leader come from the outside of the front row on that last restart. So
it's on a long race like that, whether it's 50 or even more so 100 laps, it's how much you preserve your car. I have seen someone ride at the back, barely being overtaken by the leaders, like that far back in the field, and win.
Well,
because they saved their car for the last 20 laps.
We saw it in the 50-lap Superstock race. Brandon McFerrin was not that far from being close to going a lap down. He wound up with, a sixth-place finish, somewhere near the top 5. So you've got to mind your manners. You've got to make it towards the end. And as we wait for the go-ahead from officials here, Clinton Jeffrey, you've got a big crew down there. There's I've got 2 names to introduce when the time comes, but I can clearly see there's more than 2 guests down there.
Well done with your math, Adam. Yes.
Thank you.
We have a lot of people down here from KOD Disposal ready to get this field fired up. We'll wait until we get the go-ahead from race officials, as you said. But things cooling off, Adam. How's that going to change things here today?
It's going to make the drivers happy.
It's going to make the track faster.
It will. The engines like the cooler air. Without the sun beating down on the racetrack, it keeps the oils from in the track from coming up to the surface. So it does add a lot more grip to the racetrack. And it's going to throw something completely different to these race car drivers because they did not practice in conditions anywhere near what we were about to witness.
Well, we talked about the Superstock drivers earlier tonight. They figured the track would tighten up, and it didn't really because the race was so quick. again, the further that sun goes down, the more this track will tighten up. Again, talking about, Charlie, you were talking about saving your tires. That's what we saw at race number 1. The 22 of Steckley and the 52 of Sheridan both went at it. Next thing you know, second half of the race, they were gone. The one I'm going to be interested to watch tonight is Danny Benedict, because for the first time all season, he's starting in the top 10. Okay, 2 great runs to open the season, a podium finish from, I believe, 16th, and another top 10 finish at Flamborough from outside the top 10. But tonight, he's right up in the mix right off the bat.
Clinton Jeffrey, it's time for you to go to work. Let's get this party started.
Drivers, start your engines!
And you can tell the drivers were ready to go. The words barely out of their mouth. They all hit the go button. 100 laps is the distance in this one. 23 cars going to take the green flag. We'll get everyone sorted out down there, give them an opportunity to get to where they're getting to watch this event.
AP Emissions Technology 100 here tonight. Again, one of the great partners of the APC United Late Model Racing Series. Title sponsor for this evening. You see Ryan Kimball checking to make sure that steering wheel is tight on the 29. Again, it's going to be interesting to see what he can do out front. Obviously, probably more laps around this place than any other driver in the field, but can he save that stuff?
He's had speed. Ryan Kimball has had the speed. Circumstances haven't gone his way, and I think sometimes maybe use a little bit more than he wanted to keep in position early in the race. But I think he's comfortable here, and he's excited. J-Bex Construction is in the house, the main sponsor on that 29 machine. He knows this is his moment to perform, and I think he's up to the task.
See Sheridan up there as well. Our inaugural 2015 champ will start from 3rd spot. And again, Danny Benedict, two strong runs to open the season in that 54 car.
And there's 2 absolute races. The first race is to lap 75. Stay on the lead lap, keep the corners on your car, keep the tires as fresh as you can. Then once you get to that 75 lap mark, it is time to go. It's time to make your moves, to show what you've got. And hopefully things go your way.
And we did have 2 drivers who engaged in a little bit of shenanigans at Flamborough. We'll see if anything carries over between the 31W of Rick Spencer-Walt and the 4 of Connor James.
They already had a pizza party. If I can quote Rick Spencer-Walt, he says, I hope someone does come over here. I'm going to play whack-a-mole with them.
He's got hands the size of lunch boxes. I wouldn't mess with the guy.
So they had a pizza party afterwards. Connor and Rick Spencer, Walt, and Taylor Thring
hugged it out.
Yeah. So a couple of cars stopped on the back straightaway. Looks like they're ready to roll again. They'll get into their respective starting spots. Billy Schwarzenberg didn't qualify nearly as well as he practiced, but he was fast earlier on. He was in the top 8, I believe, in practice times. I should really write things down. Okay, fans, we're going to get it right this time. Get up on your feet, grab your hats, grab your programs, grab whatever's nearby. Give these drivers a wave. They are going to be waving back, starting with Ryan Kimball out of turn number 4. Come on and salute these APC Series race car drivers, folks.
I don't know if they can see the wave from here, but is it wrist, elbow, elbow?
I'm not sure about that, but I do believe there is a karma police, and the queen of karma will get you. If you don't wave to the fans on wave lap, there's a special place in racing karma jail for you.
I think that was a hang loose sign out of the 29. That's acceptable.
If you can wave any combination of more than one finger, 2 or more is acceptable.
Yeah. 2 or more is acceptable. Okay.
We're going to double the field up. Ryan Kimball right up onto the back end of that Peterborough Speedway pace truck.
I think that's the closest anybody's ever been to the pace truck without hitting it.
I'm glad you added without hitting it to the end of that. What a beautiful field of stock cars. The APC Racing Series has come out in full force for a return to Peterborough Speedway, a track that needs to be on the schedule for the APC Series. This is an important venue for Ontario stock car racing.
It is Canada's toughest 1/3 mile. Seen a lot of good races here over the years, and tonight's going to be no exception. Sean gives the field the one to go. You can see him all tucked up underneath that Dodge Ram Pace truck on the front row, the 29.
Spencer, can we do a quick fire it up? Are you quick enough that we can start this race with a quick fire it up? I think it deserves it. Let's enjoy the sights and sound of the APC Series as we go green in the APC Emission Technologies 100 here at Peterborough Speedway. Sparks flying from underneath the 29 of Ryan Kimball as these air pressures continue to build up, Jamie Maudsley.
Good job by the 52 of Jake Sheridan, hanging tough on that outside. He's done yeoman's work up there, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to capitalize. He's going to have to tuck back in line in front of Shaw. As Dale Shaw tucks into third, Rick Spencer Walt fourth.
The first lap looked real good for Jake Sheridan to make that work from the outside, but as soon as Ryan Kimball really asserted himself and drove into the corner hard in the 29, it was clear he wanted that race lead. He had track position. He was going to make it happen.
Well, now the 52 of Sheridan goes hunting the bottom on the 29 of Kimball, trying to get that run off the corner. He does get a good run this time down into one. He's got a nose in there, and Kimball slammed the door.
The other driver doing the same thing out there is the 84, J.R. Fitzpatrick. He's shown the nose a couple of times to Trayton Lapsevich, but Lapsevich looks to be getting comfortable. He had fallen back a little bit off the 81 of Andrew Gressel, but here goes again J.R. Fitzpatrick looking to mount and challenge on the 32.
Meanwhile, up front, it's still the 29 of Flying Ryan Kimball showing the way. There you see your top five all in a group. Now, again, Sheridan in the bottom. This time some contact into turn one. Again, he keeps poking the nose in there.
The accordion goes all the way back to Blair Wickett in the 97. Then they finally sorted it out, but a lot of drivers took some damage in that exchange.
Chenoweth, good job getting on the brakes there. There you see J.R. Fitzpatrick, your point leader, winner last time out at Flamborough, doing some work on the road warrior Andrew Gressel off turn 4. Gressel gets a little sideways, and Fitzpatrick is right there.
Ryan Kimball leads the way. He's got about a car-length cushion, if you want to call it that, over Jake Sheridan in the 52. Everybody behind them all the way back to Shea Gemmell in the 3. Gemmell with some hood damage on that 3 machine, but everyone else is less than a car length from the car in front of them.
Yeah, almost the first 15 cars all lined up in a big pack. 12 laps quickly up on the board. Kimball leads, Sheridan second, Shaw third, Spencer Walt fourth, and Gressel rounds out the top 5.
So at this point, what you want to do, Jamie, and I believe almost everyone in the field except for J.R. Fitzpatrick, who has shown that he wants to make some moves, they want to settle into this race. They want to see what they've got. Jake Sheridan is showing the nose, but he has yet to really sail that car down into the turn. These drivers are feeling what they have and conserving tires.
A little bit of contact between that 52 as he's tapped the bumper of Kimball a couple times. Kimball still leads the way, and there you see J.R. Fitzpatrick still working over the 81. That's a great battle for 5th.
Sure is. Fitzpatrick to the inside of Gressel. Look behind him. Trayton Lapsevich, Danny Benedict, Kyle Stackley. They're lined up nose to tail. So Andrew Gressel, he's got to fight for what he's got or give up those spots and try to find the hole behind Kyle Stackley to fall into.
Gressel's in big trouble now. He's got bypassed by the 32 of Lapsevich. Now he's got Benedict on the inside as well, all lined up to take a spin to the inside of Gressel. Here's Steckley as well. It's going to be his turn now. as they just keep bypassing Andrew Gressel.
With good spotter communication, Gressel can get down one more set of turns. He was going to be in trouble. But as we say that, Connor James takes advantage of Shea Gemmel going up the racetrack. James going to move up a spot.
James, the Hamilton driver in the SSG glove machine, going to pick that spot up. Now we got a battle. Oh, contact between Rick Spencer-Wald and the 84 of Fitzpatrick down there in 3 and 4.
Again, getting a little bit close down there in 1 and 2. J.R. Fitzpatrick driving hard on the bottom. Rick Spencer-Wald holding his own up on the high side.
Now Lapsevich is going to try to work that lower line as well. He will keep Spencer-Wald pegged up in the penthouse. Lapsevich to the bottom of that tri-car transportation machine. On the top, it's Rick Spencer-Wald.
And I know Connor James is from Hamilton. I don't know why they list his hometown as Aurelia on the entry. I need to fix that.
There you got the 32 of Lapsevich taking the lead. Now here we got a challenge for the lead on the outside.
Oh! 10 up on the wall, down the backstretch.
Dobbin
Sparks flew.
Goes for a ride up on the concrete at Peterborough. Jake Sheridan hanging out on the outside of Ryan Kimball on the 29. That's a bold move, Cotton.
He's got Dale Shaw now to his inside, unable to put the move on the 29. Now maybe some contact there. He's still trying to work that outside groove. Trying to make it work for him. He's got Dale Shaw to his left side.
Sheridan looks to be real good on the high side in 1 and 2. 3 and 4 looks to be a little bit sketchy, but that time he got a good run up at 3 and 4. He's keeping Dale Shaw low, but look at that forward bite up at turn 2.
And look who's sneaking into the picture, the 84, your winner last time out at Flamborough. Winner of the London Recreational Racing 100, J.R. Fitzpatrick. Fastest car in practice today. The crew had to overcome a broken rear link. They got that welded back together, got it fixed up. Set a track record. He's sitting 4th right now.
Shea Gemmel's in a little bit of trouble in that APC number 3. He's drifting backwards. You can see damage to the front end of that race car. So definitely some aerodynamic damage. I wonder if that car is able to keep cool. It should be able to. I don't think any of the air ducts have been closed off.
I would say he probably did enough damage to bend the toe on that because that car has just been ineffective.
Danny Benedict is way off the pace coming out of 2. He was way off the pace in the last lap, looking to try and get down to the pits for some reason. But he is definitely in trouble. May bring out a caution as he parks it up at the top of turn 3. That is definitely going to bring out a caution.
Gets out of harm's way. So Danny Benedict, we talked about the great starting spot he had. Maybe this was going to be a day he could come through for a good result. Clinton Jeffrey, the left side tires are up on that 54. The right side tires, they look to be up as well. So I'm going to guess, yeah, trailing arm issue, the rear end all over the place in that 54.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's centered in the body. It's way off, like he broke a panhard bar or something.
Back end's trying to pass the front. That's never good.
We got Dan here. Dan, what's wrong with the Benedict car?
We're hearing something broken in the rear suspension, maybe a top link. Or we'll know in a minute here. We'll get it down, have a look.
All right, thanks for your time. We'll let him get it going, guys. We'll get back in here.
Tough break for that 54. We talked about how rough of a season he had last year, wrecking a lot of cars along the way. And,
yeah, the rear end is out of this car, guys. They got all kinds of problems. It is, as Adam would say, cattywampus as they come in. We're watching a couple cars do pit stops here in the back, but we'll move back to the 54 to Benedict and try and get a look under the rear end of that car, guys.
And you can hear lots of conversation down there. It is a crowded pit lane here at Peterborough Speedway, but everyone seems to find room to work. Dwayne Baker looks as though he's either pulling back onto the racetrack or electing to go to a different pit stall.
You see they're picking the concrete out of the right rear tire of Tom Gibbons, who rode that backstretch wall in the 10 machine. Shea Gemmel now coming in to get some work done on that car.
You can see the tire mark he left right on the PeterboroughSpeedway.com lettering, just right past the .com by the Trailers Plus sign. He went right up that wall.
Charlie Van Gogh's got some work to do this week.
He does, yes.
Well, guys, you can see all kinds of problems here in the front end. The biggest problem they've got is the air scoop, and the rad shroud is dropped out of the bottom of the 3 car here. They're still making a tire pressure adjustment on the bottom, but this car is going to be hard pressed not to drag the whole front end here, and also, try and keep this car cool. And if I get Jack to just gently pan to the right here, we got the Benedict 54 crew going at it hard here. They are trying to work on this one. We're not sure if they were able to fix the link with it. We'll get right back to you here, guys, in a second.
I have yet to see a race team on pit road able to fix a car when the rear end gets knocked out of it like that. It's not a quick fix, usually. Doubling up the field, Ryan Kimball, the race leader in the 29. Jake Sheridan, the 52, runs second. Dale Shaw is third in the 83. The 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick is fourth. Trayton Lapsevich rounds out the top five in the number 32.
Sixth place, Rick Spencer Walton, 31W. Seventh is Kyle Steckley in that 22. Eighth, the 81 of Andrew Gressel. Ninth, Connor James. Good run for the SSG Gloves, number 4, up into ninth. And rounding out the top 10 with a big contingency of folks here to watch him in the hospitality area. It's the Ridgeline Lubricants entry. Primetime Josh Stoddy.
The Polar Blair runs 11th. Blair Wickett in the 97. Matt Pritico struggling a little bit today in that 21 Global Warranty Machine. He runs 12th, and it's Billy Schwarzenberg in the 86. Sean Chenoweth in the 89. Gord Shepard in the 10S, Jade Franklin in the 31, and as we roll back through the field, all still on the lead lap. Wayne Baker,
Jordan
Eric
House.
De La Riva. Jordan House had pulled off. I think his night is done. The only driver laps down.
I got Danny Bennett here. Danny, tough break. You were starting in the top 10 tonight.
Yeah, the right rear trailing arm mount ripped right out of it. I could feel like around lap 7 or 8, it started getting real free going in, and it just kept getting worse and worse, and then it finally broke, but pretty disappointing. We felt like we had a really good Mobile One McCall Racing Enterprise race car tonight. I can't thank those guys enough for all their hard work, but unfortunately, man, we just can't seem to catch a break. Thanks, Danny.
How about Jake the Snake Sheridan battling for the lead on the outside again? Adam, he is good in 1 and 2 out, not quite as good in 3 and 4.
But he's tenacious up on the outside, and that's kind of the calling card of Jake Sheridan. He drives that car hard lap after lap after lap. Sometimes to his benefit, but sometimes he winds up using a little bit too much too early in the race. But right now, he sure is working hard, trying to battle for the lead.
And he's getting some hot tips from brother sprint car driver No Lift Nick. He was down there working on the car today. They're running second right now, and he is still putting the pressure on Kimball.
Well, he's keeping Kimball honest because he's showing him that he's going to try. Whether it's inside, outside, he doesn't care. Ryan Kimball is running a defensive line. He's coming off the corner in turn 4 and then not all the way up to the wall. He's running the bottom of the racetrack. But let's remember, he's a former track champion here at Peterborough Speedway. He knows how to get it done.
And how about the wiliness back in 3rd and 4th? Couple of APC champions just riding behind this battle, letting it play out here as we reach the 1/3 point.
And J.R. Fitzpatrick right up onto the back bumper of Dale Shaw in the 83. Like they're basically running simultaneous great laps out there. That is pinpoint precision by these drivers.
They've done a lot of battle against each other at Flamborough Speedway over the years. Dale Shaw in that NTN sponsor number 83 and the 84. Cambridge rigging entry. J.R. Fitzpatrick. Lapsevich not able to hang with him. Now we got that bid for 3rd down into 3.
Wow, Shaw closes the door on J.R. Fitzpatrick, but J.R. said, nuh-uh, I had the door open, you're leaving it open. Drives up the inside of that 83, and we've got a side-by-side battle for 3rd.
Now we'll see what Shaw learned about the outside groove from Jake Sheridan. Not enough, as he's now going to file into line behind Fitzpatrick.
He learned enough to know he wants nothing to do with the outside groove. Kyle Steckley goes around Trayton Lapsevich. Andrew Gressel going to follow him through that hole. Now Rick Spencer Walt closing in the 31. Trayton Lapsevich up on the outside, and he's struggling, losing 3 spots in the last lap.
And they are lined up to get by him. It's Rick Spencer Walt, and then Connor James behind him. Josh Stoddy in the mix as well. And now we got another car up the speedway in the 22 of Steckley. Lost grip down in 3 and 4, and Gressel now up in the 5th spot.
J.R. Fitzpatrick with a run on Sheridan. He backs out of that hole as they race down into 3 and 4. So Ryan Kimball continues to lead the way. And now Kimball is back up the racetrack, sort of running the line you would run if you were by yourself.
Well, now Sheridan's got an even bigger problem. That 84 is on the hunt. J.R. Fitzpatrick, we've seen him work from his starting position of 8th now up into 3rd. and he's going to try it on the outside off turn 2.
So Jake Sheridan must have learned something from Ryan Kimball. Okay, I'm going to run the bottom just like Ryan did. He was able to hold me off. Sheridan going to try to do the same. Even if it doesn't work, he's not hung up on the outside. So Sheridan loses one spot. And contact between Grezel and Dale Shaw. Andrew Grezel takes the 4th spot.
Shuffle Shaw back to P5 and right into the clutches of young Kyle Steckley. Rick Spencer, Walt, Connor James right behind them. And how about this? Now the 84 of Fitzpatrick, he's going to try to take the lead on the outside of Kimball.
Fitzpatrick up on the high side of Ryan Kimball in the 29. They race to the start-finish line. Kimball continues to lead, but J.R. Fitzpatrick with a big run down into 1 and 2 loses some bite on the outside.
That Fitzpatrick car is hauling the mail already from 8th up to 2nd, and now putting a tremendous amount of heat on your leader. He gets some sideways off turn 4. Nice save by Kimball as he was swatting flies all the way down the front stretch.
And Ryan Kimball probably won't appreciate that too much. He's going to race hard on Fitzpatrick. He goes up the racetrack just a hair in 3 and 4. Kimball continues to lead by the smallest of margins.
But Fitzpatrick not done in that upper groove. He's working the penthouse to perfection. He's now nosed out in front of the 29 of Kimball. Kimball fights back on the bottom. Kimball by a hair maybe at the line if it wasn't Fitzpatrick. No, it was Fitzpatrick leading that one.
Kimball led the previous lap by 7 1/1000ths of a second. Fitzpatrick led this lap by 8 1/1000ths of a second.
So Ryan Kimball has locked up the bonus point for leading the most laps here at Peterborough Speedway in the AP Emissions Technology 100, but it is far from over. J.R. Fitzpatrick seems to be on the charge. Could possibly have the best car here. He's been fastest all day. He won practice, track record in qualifying, and sitting second right now.
Fitzpatrick really working over the 29 of Ryan Kimball, and Ryan Kimball doing a great job of fending him off so far. Halfway through this one, 50 laps to go in the AP Emission Technologies 100.
And again, Kimball running that defensive line down the front stretch. If Fitzpatrick's going to pass him, he's going to have to do it high, wide, and handsome. He got Kimball sideways a bit as he keeps going to work on that back bumper.
And Kimball has been true to that bottom groove. J.R. Fitzpatrick has given him a couple of nudges, but Kimball staying down on the bottom. He's been fairly consistent there. He'll run his line, but if you're going to go around him, you're going to do it the honest way on the high side.
Now you see Fitzpatrick taking a little bit of a later entry at both ends of the speedway, trying to get some kind of run generated down these short straightaways on Kimball. Again, Kimball's going to block the bottom. This is going to get ugly if this keeps up.
It could, but I admire Kimball for the line he's choosing to run. He has sent every message you can to J.R. Fitzpatrick. Look, I'm not giving up the bottom. I know how to run the inside here at Peterborough Speedway, so you better be willing to go high, wide, and handsome because the inside lane is no-go.
Well, now Fitzpatrick's going to take another peek to the outside, but he's got to worry about Jake Sheridan on the attack as he tries to get back in this one. Gressel runs 4th, Dale Shaw 5th, Rick Spencer Walt goes 6th, Connor James 7th, Stoddy 8th, Steckley 9th, and Lapsovich rounds out the top 10.
And so far, J.R. Fitzpatrick is being fairly polite. There's been a couple of moments of contact, and you could still try to execute a bump and run, but I'm not sure if Ryan Kimball is leaving himself open to that because he's able to get the car real stable in the corner, settle down on the bottom.
I think the guy who's going to get bumped and run here in a minute might be Jake Sheridan. That 81 is on the hunt and getting real racy for 3rd spot behind the 52 machine, right behind your leaders.
And folks, there's a little bit of action in other spots on the racetrack, but nothing compared to what we're seeing in this battle for the lead. So we're going to stay locked in on this Ryan Kimball in the 29, J.R. Fitzpatrick 84, but we got to move for 5th. Rick Spencer Walt trying to get under Dale Shaw.
Oh,
he routs him.
He just jacked him up right in the middle of 3 and 4. Rick Spencer Walt will mosey on by now. Connor James is going to try to take advantage of Shaw as well on the bottom. Stoddy will too. Now Fitzpatrick's got position on Kimball 1 and 2. Oh, we got contact. Sheridan with the door slam on the way by a Kimball.
Jake Sheridan wouldn't be denied. J.R. Fitzpatrick opened the hole. Jake Sheridan drove on through. Ryan Kimball knocked back to the 4th spot. But I still think, like you said, Jamie, yellow flag is out. The wild card to me is Andrew Grezel in the 81. And let's see what happens when we go back to the last completed lap. Now, how many laps are complete?
60.
The scoreboard says 60, but my timing and scoring says 54. Am I that far behind? Yeah, my timing and scoring stopped 6 laps ago. Bummer.
Always go with the scoreboard, showing 59.
'59 complete in the AP Emission Technologies 100. Phenomenal racing we've seen.
How about that? About a 45-lap run there, and we still got every car left on the lead lap, Adam.
Some fast cars. Let's look at some replays here. It's either going to be why this yellow came out or some of the action. There we go, some debris coming off one of the cars in turn 4. Great job by our crew.
Looked like it might have been off Kimball's car. It was definitely that pack right in front of Spencer Waltz. So it was one of your top 4 cars. Has lost a piece of sheet metal. Again, 41 laps left to go.
It's just getting interesting.
It's been good
It really
so far.
is. And I don't know if anyone has done enough to really warrant hard feelings just yet. I mean, Ryan Kimball, he did a great job defending that lead. Like he did that with a lot of skill, a lot of tact. J.R. Fitzpatrick had a little bit more willpower.
And a little more speed, too. He's been carrying speed all night tonight.
I mean, this marriage between J.R. Fitzpatrick and McCall Racing Enterprises, this is really something special. He has tried for many years to kind of do his own thing, go out with different chassis builders and sort of build his own speed, build his own program. But this work he's doing with McCall, I think he's realizing.
He's got to wake up in the morning going, God, what have I been doing for the last 3 or 4 years, right?
There's a number of brilliant minds at work, and it's showing. And Fitzpatrick has to be pleased. Clinton Jeffrey, what do you got?
Shea Gembel's crew in here trying to secure that front end a bit. You can see they've also made a chassis adjustment to the right rear on the number 3 car as well. But yeah, still trying to adjust on the nose of that car. What's going on with the 3 car, guys? What's Shea saying?
He says the car's just too loose getting in, tight the center, loose off. So I don't know. He's backed all the brake out of it. I don't know what's going on now.
How about the damage on the front end? Can you manage that?
I think we can manage it. It's definitely not helping with the aero on the car, so we'll do it.
Appreciate your time. There you have it from the Gembel crew, guys.
Jamie Cox, he knows his way around one of these late model machines, giving support to Shea Gembel down there. Whoa! Contact between Dale Shaw and Connor James. Trayton Lapsevich involved.
Shaw ends up going around down in 2, and the yellow will come out.
Damage to Trayton Lapsevich is heavy. I don't know if that's his front bumper or someone else's back bumper he's dragging around there.
And lots of smoke. On the left side of that car, something is rubbing for sure.
I think it's somebody else's bumper.
Could be the Connor James number 4. Where's Connor James?
I think that's his own bumper.
That might be his own bumper.
The left front wheel is not rotating.
Well, that might be an issue.
On the bright side, there is no tire wear currently on the top 3/4 of the left front. The bottom is a problem.
Here comes Trayton
It's only flat in the
Lapsevich
bottom.
into the pits, and you can see it is his front end that is all gapped up here, and all the body supports. I don't know how they're going to fix this one a little bit. Jeff and the crew, Dave White, Nick Sheridan, all the veteran crew guys are in here trying to figure this out, but they have all kinds of damage. And if you look over there, you can see that the heavy body supports are going to be the big problem here for Trayton Lapsevich, guys. Obviously frustrated here, but they have a lot of work to do to even get this car ready for the Speedway.
For Connor James is stopped down in 1 and 2.
And they're calling for a tow truck.
I think they just need a push for James.
And this car for Trayton Lapsevich, I'm not sure if it's the same one they ran down south in December. Definitely the first appearance for that car in Canada, though.
Yeah, I know they were working on it all week long. It's always fascinating to see what these cars become. But Clinton Jeffrey, there's a lot of activity down there on pit road. What are you chasing down?
Yeah, Matt Pritico's car here, they're working on the nose. You can see it's got all kinds of damage on this car. They're just going to try and tape it down. They've actually got a ratchet strap from fender to fender to try and keep the hood down. We'll watch how this one goes, and then we're going to move down and check with the 83 of Dale Shaw, who sits a little bit back behind us. They've made what looks like a right rear tire adjustment and change, and Dale Shaw coming at you here.
Jordan House, he's in the pit stall behind Matt Perdico. He just hopped up and lent a helping hand.
Well, you might as well. His day's over. You might as well get in there and see what you can do to help a competitor.
I can see some body damage on the Shaw 83, guys. The tail section shaking a little bit. It's not secured, but not flopping enough to the point that it's going to cause him to be black flagged at this point.
Wow, and Connor James, number 4, that car being pushed down into the pits. It did not fire.
Tough break for Connor. He had raced his way up into the top 10 here earlier tonight.
Young man whose stock is on the rise in this sport, Connor James. He has shown some speed, but still not quite getting the results that they feel they deserve in that 4 machine. Let's see what the crew can find as he wheels down into his pit stall, which is pretty much pit stall number 2 on pit. Maybe it's number 1.
Yeah, he's a long way down here, guys. We see a bit of left side damage, but you're right, the car did not come in under its own power. The crew had to push it in. Now they're getting the hood up to see what they can do over there and find out what's up. They are going to make a left rear adjustment and a change to that tire, but still no fire under the 4.
Well, that could be, that's where the battery sits on these race cars. So if they want to make a battery change, you might have to take that left rear tire off.
Well, we can see the battery right in there through the gap, and that's right out, and they've just got the multimeter out, and the crew is under there trying to see if they can figure out how much voltage is on the battery, and it is an electrical problem, guys.
And we saw when Shea Gemmel's crew was interviewed, Clint down there talking to Jamie Cox, who is Shea Gemmel's father-in-law, and of course a legend at Delaware Speedway. The Super Stock's almost ready. I keep getting reports from Jamie Cox, it's almost ready. So hope we'll see that car out in a couple weeks next Quick race. Love to see him back out in action.
Who would? Great racer. We're about to go back to green flag racing here at Peterborough Speedway. 40 laps remain. J.R. Fitzpatrick on the inside in the 84. Jake Sheridan on the outside in the 52.
See if Sheridan can get it done here on the outside against J.R. Fitzpatrick down into 1 and 2. He's going to try to keep him pinched down, but we've seen how strong that 84 is. Here comes Gressel to the bottom.
Big aggressive move by Andrew Gressel. Look at that. There's aggressive moves all the way through that field.
And we've got a new leader. How about Jake Sheridan? He was unable to get by Kimball on the outside, but he does in J.R. Fitzpatrick, your new leader, Jake Sheridan.
I did not see that coming. J.R. Fitzpatrick looked invincible early on in this race. He looked to mount a challenge back on that 52 machine.
Don't count the 81 of Gressel out. He is Kitty by the door. Rick Spencer Walt, after a great opening weekend at Sunset Speedway where he's victorious, sitting 4th here tonight.
Fitzpatrick looking all over the racetrack. Jake Sheridan going to keep him pinched down. Tom Gibbons with a problem on the front straightaway. So Sheridan going to keep him pinched down, but J.R. Fitzpatrick knows he's got to go. Andrew Gressel super aggressive, and he's closing in on these leaders.
Well, I think you're seeing Sheridan now take the Ryan Kimball line. He's messaged to J.R. Fitzpatrick, okay, I got you on the outside. You're not getting underneath me here now. He's keeping that bottom closed, and Fitzpatrick's might have no choice but to go to the outside.
Sheridan's not able to keep the car down as he comes off of turn number 2. He kind of drifts up the racetrack ever so slightly, but he's able to pin it to the bottom in turn 4, and that's where Fitzpatrick gets a good run. So where JR is fast is where Jake Sheridan is also pretty darn quick.
Again, Gressel in the mix. That top 3 throw a blanket over him. Rick Spencer Walt goes 4th, and how about the rookie Kyle Steckley in that Quick APC sponsored entry up into 5th?
He's earning his stripes out there. Josh Stoddy all over the back end on that number 22. Jake Sheridan bought himself about half a car length of cushion, but that's eaten up by J.R. Fitzpatrick as they race down into turn 1.
Every few laps, Kyle Steckley has a tough time keeping that car on the bottom. He drifts up a bit. Now you've got the race out front. Sheridan leads. Fitzpatrick still second. Gressel right there. Jake Sheridan absolutely up on that wheel, doing everything he can to hold the 84 at bay.
He's working pretty hard out there in the 52. Andrew Gressel pedaling as hard as he can to keep up with that 84 machine. It is go time. 30 laps to go here in the APC Emission Technologies 100.
Jake Sheridan so far 1 career win in the APC series. It came last summer at Sauble Speedway after many times so close. Right behind him, J.R. Fitzpatrick. He's tied for third overall with 5 career wins on tour. Looking for number 6 to break that tie with Matt Pritico.
Oh, Sheridan drives it deep down into 3 and 4. A little bit of a wiggle from J.R. Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick to the inside for the lead.
Sheridan led that lap, but just by a hair. He's trying to hang tough on the outside, but that 84 is so strong on the bottom.
Jake Sheridan, is he going to give JR a bit of a nudge there in 3 and 4? No, he stays in line, minds his manners. JR Fitzpatrick with the race lead.
Jake Sheridan's got bigger fish to worry about, and that is the 81 of Gressel, the Sauble Falls Tent and Trailer Park, Canadian Union of Skilled Workers, number 81, trying to run down Sheridan for second spot with 25 to go next time by.
Gressel right up on the back end of the 52 machine. J.R. Fitzpatrick pulling away. He's about a 1/10 of a second quicker than Jake Sheridan right now.
With all this action up front, important to note, Josh Stoddy has now moved his way into the top 5 in that Ridgeway Lubricants number 17 machine.
Andrew Gressel to the inside of Sheridan. We've got a side-by-side battle for the second spot.
Ooh. Oh, they bumped. Gressel on the inside.
Bit of a hip check going down into turn 1. We'll watch to see if there's any cut tires. Andrew Gressel slides up the racetrack in turn 3 and 4.
There's Spencer Walt now. He's going to work on the 52 of Sheridan. We got 23 laps to go, and J.R. Fitzpatrick has checked out to about half a straightaway over second place Sheridan.
Big contact between Shea Gemmel and Eric Della Riva down in 1 and 2, sends Della Riva way up the racetrack. Shea Gemmel gets by. Gord Shepard gets by. So does Jade Franklin, and Eric Della Riva's on a fast track to the back.
I would think that right now the only prayer for that 81 is to hope it stays green and JR catches this lap traffic. Still 20 to go at the line. JR Fitzpatrick about a straightaway behind a whole gaggle of lap cars.
There's a lot of activity ahead of the race leader, J.R. Fitzpatrick, as Eric Della Riva has now arrived at the back of the field. Something has gone amiss on that 74, but he's now by himself in clear traffic. We'll see if he can sort things out. Dale Shaw on the NTN, number 83, working through the field again. A little bit of contact with James Horner through 3 and 4 as Dale Shaw trying to take over that spot.
There's your leader down to the stripe. Going to put lap number 82 up on the board, 18 to go. There's Rick Spencer Walt running fourth and trying to hunt down Jake the Snake Sheridan. You can see way at the front of that screen your leader, J.R. Fitzpatrick, showing the way.
Great views by all of our camera operators out here this afternoon at Peterborough Speedway. In fact, now it's this evening, the sun gone down. Finally, these drivers with a clear line of sight all the way around the racetrack, and J.R. Fitzpatrick has arrived to the tail end of the field. Lap traffic is now officially a factor.
Going to work Della Riva to the outside. He'll pass that SDR seating machine. Puts one lap car between himself and the Road Warrior. Andrew Gressel, your former series champ, second all-time in career wins, but it's been a long time, Adam. He is hungry for victory lane. Is tonight the night he reels in Fitzpatrick and gets it done again?
Well, he's got 14 laps remaining if he wants to get up there and get it done. Just ahead of the leaders, they're side by side. Dale Shaw to the inside of James Horner. Matt Pritico going to follow him through as well. This could get dicey for the race leaders. J.R. Fitzpatrick just at the end of this train of cars.
Della Riva lifts, lets the Road Warrior get by, but there's nowhere for Fitzpatrick to go. He'll now get underneath James Horner, down into 3 and 4. Got a lap car again between him and Gressel, but the Road Warrior's coming. Tom Gibbons in the leader's way just momentarily.
Well, he dropped to the inside to give way, a polite thing to do, but J.R. Fitzpatrick was going the same direction, so Fitzpatrick had to lift for just a second to swing to the outside.
Fitzpatrick, your leader, working through 1 and 2 again. Going to be 10 to go at the stripe. He's coming up on the bully, Dwayne Baker, in that Zancor Holmes machine. He'll quickly bypass Baker. Now he's got 3 cars, a 3-car cushion between himself and the 81 at Gressel.
Blair Wickett in the 97 sliding backwards just a little bit. Sean Chenoweth got around him to take the 9th spot. Blair Wickett back to 10th. He's got Shea Gemmel pounding on the back door as Matt Pritico moves down the racetrack to get out of the way of race leader J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Here in the late stages, the best battle on the speedway could be this race for 4th. Down the backstretch they work. Rick Spencer-Walt has the spot. Josh Stoddy wants it. Stoddy runs 5th. Spencer-Walt in 4th. Again, Spencer-Walt, your winner of the opener at Sunset earlier tonight. And the 17 of Stoddy still chasing his first ever APC win.
And that's a battle for 3rd and 4th. It's also the 5th place car, but nobody's battling for that spot.
Well, they've caught 3rd place Jake Sheridan now. And it's a 3-car dance here with 7 to go.
Spencer-Walt takes a big arc down into 3 and 4, keeps that car pinned right to the bottom. Josh Stoddy able to match him move for move there. He'll go into the corner. Stoddy with a good run off of turn number 2. Spencer-Walt falling off the back bumper of the Jake Sheridan 52 just a little bit as we see 5 laps to go.
Well, J.R. Fitzpatrick put the sails in the air. He has got that 84 machine on cruise control. He's got 4 lap cars to work with, but with just a handful of laps left to go, I don't even think he has to get by him. Gressel's so far in the rearview mirror.
No, and that could be what Fitzpatrick's doing right now, is just riding behind Dale Shaw. You don't want to get too close. You don't want to get in someone else's problem. That's really the only thing that could hurt Fitzpatrick now as we make the final laps of this race.
You see Jason Franklin, and now back to J.R. Fitzpatrick. He'll get around Shaw. Dale Shaw concedes, rolls over, lets the 84 go by. Through 1 and 2, they work again. Fitzpatrick still leads the way. Coming down the backstretch, a lap and a half to go, Adam.
It'll be the white flag, but look at the battle right in front of J.R. Fitzpatrick. That could get between him and victory. White flag flies from flagman Sean Gibbs.
So whole straightaway back to the road warrior Andrew Gressel. He's not even in the competition right now. It is all J.R. Fitzpatrick. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. After a lot of obstacles today, J.R. Fitzpatrick's going to come home the winner of the AP Emission Technology 100. Gressel a distant second with a solid runner-up finish still nonetheless. Sheridan comes home 3rd, Rick Spencer-Walt 4th, and Josh Stoddy in 5th.
6th through 10th, we've got Ryan Kimball, Kyle Steckley, Billy Schwarzenberg, Sean Chenoweth, and Shea Gemmel in the number 3.
11th, Blair Wickett. 12th, Gord Shepard. 13th was Jade Franklin in the 31. 14th, Dale Shaw, 1 lap down. As well, 1 lap down in 15th, Matt Pritigo.
16th on back, we got Dwayne Baker in the 48, Tom Gibbons in the 10, James Horner in the 79, Eric Della Riva in the 74. All of those cars were just 1 lap down. And then 20th on back, you've got cars that did not make it to the end of this one. Connor James in the 60, in the 4 with 60 laps complete. Trayton Lapsevich in the 32 with 60 laps complete. Danny Benedict completing 27 laps to finish 22nd. And then Jordan House rounding out the field, completing just 2 laps here today. But what a show. Again, what a display of driving by these racers, because it could have got out of hand at almost any time. But these drivers showed a lot of maturity and a lot of talent.
Biggest thing I saw tonight was the way guys were able to open that outside lane and make some passes on the outside lane. I know we're going to Delaware in a couple weeks. A new repave job there has made it a 2-groove racetrack. Hey, Peterborough was 2 grooves tonight, folks.
It was. It was proven to be a 2-groove track this season, and this has always been known as a groove and a half. He proved it. J.R. Fitzpatrick proved that it was a 2-groove track tonight, and what a powerful, powerful race on his part. Really kind of the triple crown, fastest in practice, fastest track record in qualifying, and here he is parking at the Dart Heating and Air Conditioning victory lane.
Sure. Throw in the 4th part of the pair, plus they had to re-weld the back end.
True, yeah.
Clinton Jeffrey is on the scene. The camera is on the spot there for J.R. Fitzpatrick. You can see him getting off his gear. He's going to be greeted by Clinton Jeffrey down there in Dart Heating and Air Conditioning victory lane.
How about that? 2 in a row for J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Well, the crew tried to accost him down here, but he managed to stay mostly dry. He'll get the helmet off and work his way out. A little bit of sweat working there, but those last 10 laps seem to come fairly easy. He'll get out of here quickly and join us in victory lane as he gets set to come out.
And give him a chance there. What he puts in there, Clinton, is his hearing aid so he can hear you and answer the questions and hear the cheers of the crowd.
He'll get a quick drink. Here he comes. Peterborough, let him know you appreciate it. J.R. Fitzpatrick wins 2 in a row here. on the APC series. Oh, right to the camera's face. Awesome. JR, congrats, man. 2 in a row in the preseason. You know, you said you had high hopes for this season, and these are the days that make championships. When you have adversity, you have trouble to start, you don't give up, you don't get disappointed, and you manage to get it done.
Yeah, definitely. Man, this car just has so much raw speed. It has so much drive off, and everybody was commenting how good this car was in 3 and 4, and that's the case. It's just turning so good. First off, I got to thank Peterborough Speedway, KOD Disposal for having us here. I really love this track. I got to thank also Andrew Gressel, Jay Sheridan. It was a good race up front. It was a little hairy there for a little while, some guys, but the car just worked, man. The crew worked so hard. We ripped the upper link out earlier today, and man, we got it finished and got it done. I got a local business on the car I'd like to thank. It's number 7 Auto in Havelock. I got all my friends here from Madoc. They came all the way to watch, and I'm pumped.
We can see it. Congrats, JR. Enjoy this one. 2 in a row.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
JR Fitzpatrick gets it done, guys, and the crew are going to celebrate with them a little bit. We'll turn over to you guys, and we'll get in. Actually, we got Andrew Gressel here. We can just jump right in and grab second and third. Andrew, you know, 2 races in a row. You finish second to Fitzpatrick. You know, you got to be still pleased, man. These are great points days. You got speed. You're not in a pile. Are you happy?
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, just being so close. The car was pretty loose off the start, and then it came in real nice at the end. I wish we would have maybe had a caution there at the end just to close it up a bit. But yeah, no, obviously, you know, JR had a great car. He ran a great race. I don't know if we would have got him at the end or not. It would have been pretty interesting, I think. But just got to thank the whole crew and everybody here that's helping out, and all our sponsors. Al Grande, our buddies out of Mexico there, Cuss W, the Canadian Union of Skilled Workers, South Falls 10 Trailer Park, Stewart's Equipment, Jeff Stewart, big thanks to him. Gallinger Realty, High Grade Roofing, just thanks to everybody.
Right on, there's Andrew Gressel. He will grab second tonight. We'll get over here just for a second and jump with Jake Sheridan. Jake, you know, 3rd place today. You were real fast. You had a lot of speed in this car. Kind of an up and down day, but I don't think you're far out of the top 5 at all today. Solid day for this team.
Yeah, I mean, we started up front there and held our own there. We probably wasted a lot of time behind the leader at the beginning. He was blocking pretty hard, and I didn't have enough car to go to the outside. So gave it to JR, and he was able to make something happen. We got our nose in there, so just happy to stay up front, keep this thing clean. And we made big gains. You know, we come a long way from where we were last 2 APC races, so we'll take this podium. We're happy with it. Can't thank all the guys that support me enough and all the help in the shop. It's been a couple long nights to get here, but we're on to something now, and we can bring our hopes to one piece. We can make it faster from here.
Right on, there you have it. Jake Sheridan second, Jake Sheridan third, Andrew Gressel second, and your winner, JR Fitzpatrick down here. Guys, take us through a full field rundown if you got it.
Yeah, Clint, we actually gave it just before victory lane, all the way down to 23rd spot, but again, I think the greatest statistic we can give is 19 cars finished within 1 lap of the leader. And really, I think all the cars up and down the line, they might have some cosmetic damage, they might have some stuff to fix, but by and large, they're going to roll onto the trailer tonight, and that's all we can hope for following this series, is for the drivers to race hard, Charlie, for their positions.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the night, not have such hard feelings that we see people getting upset with each other, and be able to roll the cars onto the trailer.
Hey, there's going to be some celebrations in the pits tonight. I know that everybody's going to be excited. Kind of hang around a little. We actually finished early. The sun is really just going down. It's a beautiful sunset off in the distance, and this is kind of an early finish for what's normally here at Peterborough Speedway.
Jamie, say your piece, and then I'm going to let people in on a conversation I heard earlier on.
Well, yeah, I don't even know where to start. We're 5 races in, between 3 APC races and 2 quick races. We've seen 5 dynamite races, and other than Gord Shepard at Sunset, we haven't seen anybody bend a race car. Yeah. So it's great that these guys are able to load the cars on the trailer. Hey, we don't have to fix anything. Let's just get to making it fast for next week.
Earlier on, I walked into a conversation with Alex Nagy and Luke Ramsey, and they were it was JP Josiasi and Luke Ramsey talking about this night of racing. He said, you know, if we can start this race at 8:30 and be done about 9:30, wouldn't that be fantastic? Let's send the fans home with a great show, entertain them. The kids can still be enjoying it, and then send them home talking about how much they want to come back to Peterborough Speedway. And that's the recipe.
It's 924.
That's the ingredients you want to put into a great show. and I think the fans were greeted to that. So,
and again, that's where Josh Dottie was saying that the problem is they're 4.5 hours from Sauble Speedway here, so they have a tough time getting their local fans to come to a race like this. And I said, well, the nice thing about Flamborough a few weeks ago was we were on our way home while the sun was still up, and same thing here again tonight. So great job of the APC crew to get the show done in time to get everybody home in a decent time. And I don't know what more you can say about the racing. We've seen 5 races so far this year, and they've all been barn burners.
They absolutely have. So that's going to do it from us. There's really not much more to say. So on behalf of the team, I'm Adam Ross. Thanks so much to Jamie Maudsley, Clinton Jeffrey, Charlie Toner. It was a great time from Peterborough Speedway. We will see you again. Lots of exciting racing coming up around Canada today. Peterborough's got action every Saturday night. Folks, hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to see you next time.
Copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GeForce TV. GeForce TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.